Here we go. A good enough summary of Kingdom Hearts by Barry Kramer. 3, 2, 1. Enjoy.
Welcome
Let's
to
hear
a
it. Let's
good
hear
enough summary of Kingdom Hearts. I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and like a third of Kingdom Hearts 2, but I've always been fascinated by the series. I mean, what does
turned it
any
up
of
just
this
a little
mean?
bit.
So I sat down with this good boy Gam, and he explained everything to me for 7 hours.
7 hours.
It's a lot stupider than you think. And we'll get to that in a long time.
Alright.
I'm still angry.
Imagine explaining something for 7 hours. Unless you're... No, even in a college setting, that's too long. Person in the chat, I played these games and I'm so fucking lost. I guess when you're talking about Goofy, you say fucking, right?
Okay. And now I'm going to explain everything to you in slightly less time.
Thank you.
Please treat any non-accuracy as a true game word. But
Slightly
before we
less.
plunge headfirst into the terror that awaits us, there's some stuff you just gotta accept about the world of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
1. Hearts are not literally hearts. They're kinda like a person's soul, but...
They're not? Wait, but they're not, but they also are, because sometimes they actually are in the shape of the thing on the left. But they're not actually their beating physiological hearts. Okay.
more like their emotional soul, I guess? 2. Light equals good and dark equals bad, and these are not metaphor, they're tangible forces within the universe.
Yeah, that's incredibly literal.
3. If you lose your heart, or it's overcome by darkness, it turns into...
They just said it's not your heart and then show a person with their heart coming out.
to one of these little guys called a heartless. 4. A body without a heart is an empty husk that turns into one of these
A body without a heart, but it's not a physical heart. We're already in a place where this is ridiculous. It's 2 steps removed from being literal. It's like back and forth twice. It's not a heart, but it is heart, but it's not a heart.
slithery dudes, a nobody. Okay, so you lose your heart, you create both a heartless and a nobody. Simple enough. 5. If you're strong-willed enough, your husk turns into a special kind of nobody that looks like you and can talk and stuff. Okay, sure, fine, why not? 6. If both the heartless and nobody are destroyed, the original person is made whole again. And whole people...
Again, the heart went back into the body.
...are called somebodies. Just...
I've never heard of that. No, they call them somebodies? When does that get introduced in the series? That's silly. I'm gonna say that a lot.
I know.
He knows.
7. There's Disney and Final Fantasy characters everywhere. And retcons.
Yeah,
8.
see, that's why we bought it,
This is more of a
probably.
personal note, but I find it easier to take this all in if you consider it more of an avant-garde interactive art piece than a traditional narrative. Okay, let's dive in!
Avant-garde art piece rather than a traditional narrative. Let that sink in for a minute. Yes, it's a story, but think of it as an avant-garde art piece. Here we go.
Mickey, take the wheel! Kingdom Hearts 1. We start in Destiny Islands, and if you think that name is heavy-handed now, just you wait. There's a bunch of kids running around, but we only care about 3 of them. Sora, the plucky one, Riku, the angsty one, and Kairi, the milquetoast girl with no discernible personality traits whatsoever. Now, despite having their own...
I always took the Sora and Riku thing as a sort of Naruto and Sasuke thing. You know, it feels a little bit like there's like a triangle between the 3 of them. I think that's implied, like, it's not probably just in my head.
Cluster of islands to call their own, these kids decide it's not enough.
They never discuss, right, that, like, do they have physical needs as far as eating food on that island? Because they don't really eat. They just kind of sit on the beach a lot and think about their future. They act like they're part of this bigger civilization, but you don't know where they came from, and they're just kind of sitting on the island. You know, Waka. I remember Waka. They eat fruit. The star fruit or something, you got to do races all the time and then get star fruit or some kind of thing.
And build a raft to go on their own adventures. But suddenly, shroop, a big old portal opens up and Heartless start pouring out. Sora tries to fight them and is absolutely useless until shwee, a Keyblade suddenly appears in his hand.
Wait, they boat there every day? I thought they just lived there. I thought this was just where they're always sitting. It was like an island of children, and they just stay there all the time. Huh. That's news to me, actually. I didn't know that.
And he's all like, nice. Now, Keyblades aren't just big keys. Well, I mean, they are, but they're also...
Yeah, imagine slaying something with that. You just gotta beat them to death with this big, heavy piece of metal. We don't get into the nitty-gritty of that, but the idea of just beating something, bludgeoning them to death with this weird piece of metal with, like, sharp edges and a crown cut out of the end of it. It's just very odd as an idea. Obviously, they've turned it into a whole thing because it's so symbolic, but isn't it? That's kind of a great metaphor for everything in this series. It's a blunt force metaphor that you beat something to death with.
Also big metaphorical keys. They can destroy darkness and repair worlds and just generally do whatever the developers need them to do at that moment.
Yeah.
And also there's sort of like Harry Potter ones where they choose their master.
What if you pick Shield? No one ever talks about Shield. You're given a choice between Keyblade, Shield, and Wand. And you use spells all the time. You use Keyblade all the time. What happened to Shield?
Kinda. So Sora beats the crap out of some Heartless, and then Riku's like, dude, this evil portal is totally sweet. And Sora's like, I don't know, man, that looks like a bad time. And
That feels like a weird way of describing that. I know he's just being facetious, but also, like, they had no choice, right? I think the portal opens and, like, sucks them into it. It's not like they're excited by this mystery. It's like, it's spewing evil into their island, and then I think it sucks them in. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering it because I haven't played it in years now, but that's how I kind of have it in my head anyway. Not this. Thanks very much for the 13 months and the vibrating foxes.
Riku's like, I'm gonna go through there. Nope. You should come too. Nuh-uh. Okay then. Yeah. I'll just... Nope.
Here I go.
You should not. Through the spooky portal. And then everything explodes and Sora goes flying and Kairi sort of phases through Sora.
Yeah, that was always so weird. They make this really big deal of it, but then sort of don't explain it at all. It's like she touches his heart, but it's not your heart. It's not your physical heart. It's your soul or your metaphorical heart. And then she goes through it. Does that make them be in love or something? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Elsewhere, Mickey Mouse. Yes! Mickey Mouse, did I stop?
We know.
Cutter is like, I gotta go, see you later, huh? And Donald and Goofy are like, you what? You're the king. You can't just find the king.
That's a really good picture of Goofy, by the way. Oh, I just realized I'm adding Disney to this whole transformative content experiment. Great call, me. Great call, thinking ahead. It's okay, they're just... Yeah, that's... Okay.
So after exploding and flying through space for a while, Sora wakes up in this strange city with bumpin' music called Traverse Town.
Yeah,
he meets up with Donald and Goofy, who are like, is that a Keyblade? And Sora's like, don't touch it.
There's also a scene where they show... I think, is she Queen Minnie? And I was so incredibly confused when they showed Minnie Mouse for the very first time, because her head is like 80% larger than anyone else's head in the whole game, and it looks like an inflatable balloon that is about to pop. It's just, it's a sphere that is too swollen for its own good. It looks dangerous. Like she was stung by 1 million bees. And no one ever talks about it. Only me. I'm the only one that's noticed this in years of people playing Kingdom Hearts. Her head is too big. It doesn't look right.
Meanwhile, Riku gracefully emerges from his creepy portal thing and meets up with Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, and she's like, Riku, you should totally...
Thanks very much, Angelic, for the 60 months and the good luck on the journey. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. You need evidence? We can find a picture of her head, and then you'll see what I'm saying later. Okay, so wait, I need to go back like 10 seconds, because something happened with Maleficent, and I didn't really catch it, because I was talking. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
He emerges from his creepy portal thing and meets up with Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, and she's like, Riku, you should totally join me.
That just happens.
Sora doesn't even care about you anymore.
I thought I missed something, but this is just the fractured nature of this narrative. Things just kind of suddenly happen, and if you don't follow the story beats, you don't know what's happening, and even if you do, you don't know what's happening.
He has new friends now. And Riku's like, these vibes I'm getting from you are definitely trustworthy. So Sora teams up with Dobbled and Goombi so they can find their friends. They travel through a bunch of Disney worlds that literally do not...
What's the best one? I'm struggling to think which one I like the most. Jax? Yeah, I kind of also initially thought Jax, but I don't even really remember why. Maybe just because it was the most different. Like, non-typical. I don't know.
Not matter whatsoever. Like, it's fine if you want to hang out with the adorable little teacup from Beauty and the Beast, and this guy over here, Chub play the tub, fine. But it does not matter to the story.
Yeah, Agrabah was a nice nostalgia bomb, I guess. I don't remember it being very fun, though. It was cool to see it and to, like, run around in it, but as I remember, it was just, like, a whole bunch of little house areas that just went on for ages. Just, like, little boxes with random houses around them. And that wasn't the most fun thing. Thanks very much, Just Some Lamp, for the 3 years. 1 month of sub for every Kingdom Hearts spin-off. Thanks so much. Okay.
Eventually, they wind up at a big old castle called Hollow Bastion. Riku pops up and Sora...
Whoa, we're already at the end of the first game? Hollow Bastion's the final area, isn't it? Did we just yada yada through the entire thing? What happened here? What about being in Alice in Wonderland for 100 years? And getting lost in the topiaries?
Sora's like, Riku, my friend, after being separated for so long, I have finally found you. And Riku's like, girl, that Keyblade's only been hanging out with you to make me jealous. And Keyblade-chan zwoops on over to Riku-kun.
Whoa, I don't remember that. No, I do. It's like at the very end, isn't it? Yeah, this is some very old, locked up memory that I have from like the early 2000s. Whoa, thank you so much, Nudust, for the 5 tier 1 subs for Floric Burn, Add More Coffee, Cosmic Celosia, Morrison Torson, and Wana Kilo. Thank you.
Oh, Scoots, says Sora. Well, it doesn't matter. With Donald and Goofy at my side, we can't... our allegiance is with the Keyblade, not you, so...
Oh, yeah, the big betrayal. You think they're your friends, and then you find out they're actually just, like puppets to the Keyblade. There's some weird implications to this whole thing, isn't there? Why is Mickey even a king in the first place? I know that it's, like, Disney, so obviously he's in charge of that. But then, I don't understand this, like, dynastic or monastic association with the sword, and then their fidelity. Are they knights? Is this some sort of sworn-in knight ceremony thing where they ally with the sword's metaphorical command over the people of the Disney feudal system? I don't know.
Then Sora has a mopey road trip with Beast from Beauty and the Beast until they discover this super spooky room with a giant keyhole and a bunch of sleeping Disney princesses. Riku's in the corner with Keyblade-chan going, oh yeah? And then what did he say? Oh girl,
this is 2 now, isn't it?
With a creep, ha ha ha. But then Sora delivers this badass monologue about
this is the
friendship
end?
And hearts and stuff. And Keyblade...
Okay, see, I kind of tuned out what happened, I guess, after the blade changed hands, and I couldn't remember that part. So I thought we had already jumped to the next game, but I guess this is the end of 1.
Chan gets all flustered and tsundere and zwoops back on over to Sora, and he's all, nice.
Oh, the way you tell if it's 2 is, are there people with robes? That's what it is. I forgot.
Riku goes, oh yeah, well at least I still have Ansem, and Sora's like, who's Ansem? And Riku's like this.
Who's Ansem? You're Ansem, my dude. Ha ha!
Super evil dude that's possessing me. He was also like totally pulling Maleficent strings or whatever. And she's like, it be like that though. And Sora goes, you what, mate? And also, Kairi has been drooling face down the...
Yeah, Kairi, what? Why do you have no agency at all, Kairi? You're just sort of there. Give Kairi agency.
corner this whole time, but nobody knows because she's just that boring. Beast, who's been awkwardly in the room this whole time, points her out, and after a few minutes, they remember who she is. Kairi! Cries Sora. Riku drones on for a while about how Kairi's the last princess Ansem needs for his evil scheme, and also remember when Destiny Islands blew up and Kairi went zzzz through Sora? Yeah, her heart has been inside of Sora this whole time. Sora goes, ew, OMG.
Right. So it's like one of the first scenes that you see in the whole story, but it's also one of the most important, but also they don't talk about it for the whole game until the end.
And commits Sudoku with this.
Really? In a Disney game? That's surprising.
Keyblade. This frees Kairi's heart and revives her. Yay! This also frees Sora's.
Did they do that? I mean, obviously they did, but, like, how did they make that not seem traumatic and horrible? That's really surprising, isn't it?
Heart, so he's a heartless now. Boo! But Kairi's like, bibbidi bobbidi deus ex machina, bitch! And Sora turns back to normal, which...
As funny as that is that really as complex as that situation turned out to be? Bibbidi bobbidi deus ex machina, and then Sora's back? That feels like completely something that needs to be explained. You can't just write that. You can't just say, here's the entire climax, and the event that is sort of hinging on the resolution of that climax is, it just is.
Contradicts everything we understand about how any of this works, but sure.
Okay, so he's mad about it too, so it's not just me. You can't just do that. I don't care if it's a Disney story or if it's silly. You can't just...
Fine. Ansem sees all this and is like, seriously, like, I checked the wiki and they use the word somehow.
Kairi is somehow able to recognize him and restore him to his body. Somehow. That is a lot of work that word is doing. Somehow. Okay, well, so this is the point at which any... I want to say any reasonable person, but that's not really fair. Most people would see this and go, you're not serious about this story. You have no credibility if this is how you want to tell a story. You can't just deus ex machina things. Silly. It's just silly. That's what it is, though. It is just ultimately just silly. They want it to seem serious, but it doesn't have any credibility as a storytelling plot device.
Whatever, I'm outie, peace. And Sora follows him to Destiny Islands, but now it's all destroyed, so it's...
Oh no!
Deprestiny Islands.
Deprestiny.
Ansem and Sora have a good old-fashioned anime showdown. You know,
yeah.
Sora believes in himself,
like Bleach.
Ansem turns into a boat, and the player...
What? Why do you turn into a boat? To leave? Does Sora want a sword fight? And then he's like, no, I'm a boat now. What?
Smashes X a lot until Ansem is like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna open the door to Kingdom Hearts, which is the source of all hearts, and it's all darkness in there and stuff. I love darkness. Check out my tattoo. And Sora's like, all right, fine, open it, you dollar store goth, and sort of fumbles with his Oakleys for a moment because guess what? It's like Ansem is all.
Did Ansem not understand that?
Curses, foiled, bingus bongus, and he explodes. Sora tries to close the door to Kingdom Hearts, but he can't. Oh no! Until guess what? Riku!
I feel like there's a lot of events happening outside of the realm of our understanding about why it is that Ansem thought that the door was evil door, but it was actually good door. And he opened it as a means to foil Sora, but accidentally killed himself? Is that what just happened? And Riku's in it? Is it because Riku turned it light? I thought Riku was a bad boy because he got the sword. I'm very lost.
Wait, how is he in there? And guess what? Mickey! What? Wait.
Oh, Mickey did it. With the power of Christian purity. What is that? Is that his nipples? Why does he look like the little brother from Malcolm in the Middle there? This is terrifying.
Where's his shirt? Remember this? It's important. I swear, do not forget. Riku and Mickey help close the door from the inside, and bingus
They were
bongus
his nipples.
All the broken worlds go back to normal.
I forgot that the worlds were broken. I don't really remember why the worlds are broken. Because the portal? I don't know.
Everybody returns to Destiny Islands, and Sora is like, okay, I'll be back. I gotta go save Riku and Mickey. And Kairi just kind of stands there because she has no agency and is barely a character.
Give her agency.
Chain of Memory.
Oh, I didn't play this. This is the Game Boy Advance one, right? Like the card game? I was always too scared of it because I thought, number one, I'm not very good at card games to begin with. Number two, Kingdom Hearts story is ridiculous and I can't follow it. So those two things together sounds like a bad time to me.
5 minutes later, Sora is walking down a road with Dorbald and Goblin when a hooded figure...
Dorbald. Wait a minute. Chain of Memories comes before 2? Is this where they introduce the hood people? Is that why they seem so sudden in 2? Because you had to have played the Game Boy game. Oh. I didn't realize it was between them. Even though I should have, because I think chronologically it did come out between them. But I didn't think it was taken seriously as canon. But I don't know why I thought that, because everything is canon in Kingdom Hearts, because canon means nothing.
Figure arrives and mumbles something about mysteries. They continue down the path and arrive at Castle Oblivion.
I like that drawing. It's just got spires like pine trees coming off of it in every direction. I want a Symphony of the Night, that shit.
Sora works his way through the castle and meets a whole bunch of creepy figures that dramatically take off their hoods to reveal their sweet, sweet anime hair.
They just look like Bleach characters, to be honest. I mean, even the hoods do. If you've watched Bleach, they have like an entire order of people that are like this. And they're Reapers, and that's the whole premise of the show. Bleach is a pretty good show, but it gets a little old eventually.
There's Larxene and Marluxia and Axel and Lexius and...
What, one of them is named like Zemnis, but also Xenonaut, or also something nut. He's got them. I think it's the guy that they're showing right now. He's got the most weird name.
Zexion and
No, it's not that
Vexen,
guy.
also known as all the sweet LiveJournal blogs used to follow in middle school. They take turns showing up to do something mysterious, and then Sora blows them up. Except Axel, he survives, because he had the biggest...
That's just a character from Bleach. The guy with the retractable sword that has like a ribbon in it. And it like cleaves away your soul energy. He ends up being friends with the main character, Ichigo, which is cool because he's a nice guy as far as we can tell. Oh, he doesn't seem nice at first. I don't know why I'm talking about Bleach so much.
Biggest anime hair of them all. Meanwhile, Sora's losing his memories. Oh, no. The further he moves into...
That's right, Renji. Yeah, I liked Renji. He was alright. I mean, he didn't have bells on his hair or anything, but he was pretty cool anyway.
The castle, the more his real memories get replaced by...
I also watched about 100 episodes of Bleach, but I don't really remember anything that happens after the first arc.
Fake memories. He starts remembering this girl who kind of looks like Kairi, but she's not. She's got different...
I hate when games do this. When they're like, oh, the world is slightly different than you remember, but also it's probably just a plot device that we don't really want to do the legwork of writing. So we're just going to make things that feel like vague platitudes hinting in the direction of depth. Maybe there's more to it than that here.
Different hair and almost a...
I think the main character goes into like a coma at some point, and then we find out he's in a simulation or something.
Personality. Her name is Nominee. And Sora's like, I don't remember anything else, so I better find this Nominee. She seems important and was along for our adventures this whole time. Also, I kind of feel like I want to give her a smooch. A few games of poker later, Sora finally reaches Nominee, and she's like, yeah, I stole all your memories. You have to take a nap so I can restore them, but you'll forget everything from this game. You won't even remember me. But Sora's already asleep in this big old fancy pod.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is it supposed to look like a lotus blossom? Kind of looks like a lotus. Is there some sort of Buddhism thing going on here? Huh.
Durlap and Gruff share the...
Oh, that one looks not so good. It's like a dirty bathroom.
Economy class pod, and they deserve it for wasting all the health potions. You had one job!
That's a joke at their AI being bad, and they just sometimes just use health potions when they're missing like 1 HP. They'll just use one because they don't care. It's very rude, in fact. They should have better AI. because you have to rely on it all the time. Like, you can sort of take control of them, but a lot of the time, you need them to be doing their work on their own. And some of these fights, as I remember, got quite hard toward the end of the game, or some of the hidden optional battles. Like, I think there's a gauntlet in the Hercules realm, and you keep fighting harder and harder bosses. Man, this is really old memories of mine. They've been replaced with Namine.
Meanwhile, Riku and Mickey just kinda leave Kingdom Hearts.
What?
Riku takes the wake up floating in a void option, then teleports into Castle Oblivion.
Things are just happening. They're just doing things. Just randomly moving around, doing things.
Because he ventures through the castle, but doesn't lose his memories because Namine only got eyes for Sora. Know what I mean?
Namine doesn't have any agency either, right? They're just weird plot device characters for Sora, it seems.
He meets a bunch of those hooded weirdos, which, by the way, all belong to a group/cult called Organization 13. More on that in a bit. And later runs into a clone of himself. Riku's
no.
like, whoa, it's a clone of me.
I hate
sweet.
that.
And the clone is like, no, you're
He's holding a bat wing with an eye on it.
the clone. My name is Replica Riku. And wait a minute, why is Replica in my name? So Riku kicks him.
Gonna say this right now, the only way to actually fairly judge Kingdom Hearts is to check the Kingdom Hearts Collection official glossary explanation to see if the logic holds up or not. If someone doesn't know that, just take this video as a fun romp. A lot of things get explanations much later on, just if people actually legitimately want to see if it does actually make sense. Alright, noted, but also, if the story itself can't convey its story, I mean, it's up to you how much legwork you think is necessary to be done. But I understand that, yeah, we're only seeing one person's synopsis from their perspective, also taken secondhand from another person who explained it to them over 7 hours, apparently. So I think we should all know that, because, I mean, that's how the video started. He explained that. So yeah, I'm taking this as gospel, but also I'm aware that I probably shouldn't.
A few times and Replica Riku explodes. Then Riku bumps into this red mummy named Diz, and
There's a red mummy? I don't think I played far enough to ever know that character existed. He's got a weird squiggle on his chest, and I don't know what's happening around his knees. A lot of patchwork going on there.
he's like, don't worry about me for now. Actually, don't worry about any of this. You got like 5 games to go before things start to make sense. And then Mickey hops on Riku's back and is like, well, I'm gonna help you control
I really hate how much he looks like the little brother from Malcolm in the Middle. Okay, what's he saying?
your darkness better. Let's go. And that's about it for
Why does Mickey know how to control darkness? Because he's the king? Why does the king know that?
Chain of Memories. The next game is Kingdom Hearts 2, which starts with not Sora, but with this guy, Rock.
Now we're in Kingdom Hearts 2. And you start the game in a simulation on a skateboard. For some reason.
To find out what his deal is, we need to first check out 350
No, it's another one.
over 2 days. That title. So,
Dream drop distance. Integrity and faithlessness. That's Star Ocean. I'm feeling the life leaving my body already.
okay, again, remember when Sora had a Sudoku and released Kairi's heart and turned himself into a Heartless?
I can't believe he did
also
that.
created Sora's Nobody, who wakes up in Twilight Town one day all boopity boopity, where the poopity am I? He's found by this weirdo named Xemnas, who's like, welcome to Organization 13.
Xenonaut.
Here's your spooky cloak and how to infuriatingly speak in riddles guide. Also, your name is Roxas.
Sora is Roxas? Oh, of course he is. That should be obvious, shouldn't it?
Xemnas introduces Roxas to the rest of the Breakfast Club. Luxor, Demix, Syx, Zal.
Wait, we already had an introduction of all the cloaked people, and they weren't any of those. Also the blonde one. The face he's making. It reminds me of Mac when he's doing the cat eye karate across the stage look.
Alden, Zigbar, remember him for later, and hey, we know these guys.
Zigbar. I like the one with the cat fang. That's a nice detail. Thanks very much, BTSDM, for the Twitch Prime for 48 months. That's a lot of months. Thank you.
This game takes place at the same time as Chain of Memories, so
there's
you
so
got
many.
some characters going back and forth between the two.
One of them
It's
looks
super.
like a Muppet.
Roxas goes on adventures around Disney World and becomes best buds with one organization member in particular, Axel. They eat ice cream and just totally brought.
Yeah, I heard a lot, and I guess I didn't play enough to really see this reinforced, but I heard a lot of different times that ice cream is a big part of Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like the way you bond in Kingdom Hearts. You eat ice cream.
It's super cute. Then Xemnas is like, yo, some stuff is going down at Castle Oblivion, who's in? And a bunch of Organization 13 members head over there, including...
Well, ice pops or some sort of frozen treat, you know, whether it's ice cream or not. Maybe I'm being overly vague in saying that.
Axel, and then that ties in the Chain of Memories. Then a new character pops up, the 14th member of Organization 13.
You can't have 14 in 13. That's one more than you're allowed. You're over capacity.
Oh, what? Her name is Shion, and she's like, I'm weird, I don't know who I am. And for good reason. Turns out she's... Let me just check my notes here.
What's with the X's all the time? All X's should live in Texas, not in Kingdom Hearts.
A replica of Sora created by Xemnas using the memories Naminé took from Sora as a failsafe in case Roxas ended up not going along with Xemnas' crazy schemes. And thanks to Naminé, some of Sora's memories wound up in Roxas too. So Shion pieces out and...
Hang on. I gotta go back. Please, once more.
Let me just check my notes here. A replica of Sora created by Xemnas using the memories Naminé took from Sora.
I'm already lost. Like, I listened to that, but it immediately went out of my head as he said it. I actually can't understand that. I'm not smart enough to understand Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry.
Let me just check my notes here. A replica of Sora.
A replica of Sora.
Created by Xemnas.
Who's Xemnas again? Was one of the organization members? Shion is a replica of Sora created by Xemnas. Using the memories of Naminé. And Naminé is the girl that can't remember things that replaces Kairi. Holy shit, this is like 5 layers of proxies to the extent that my brain doesn't work anymore. Oh, stop it.
Naminé took from Sora as a failsafe in case Roxas ended up not going along with Xemnas' crazy schemes.
No. No!
And thanks to Naminé, some of Sora's memories wound up in Roxas too.
I give up? My brain cannot go beyond as far as I said there. Okay,
so Shion
I'm
pieces
just gonna
out
let that
in an
go.
attempt to save us all from having a...
I actually wanted to understand that, but I reached a point where I realized this is not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to understand that. I'll just keep going.
Understand what's going on, but Xemnas captures her and reprograms her to make her attack Roxas. Because if Shion defeats Roxas, then Sora will never be able to get his memories back. Oh! But Roxas defeats Shion, and she's like, Cough, Sputter, you gotta merge with Sora and defeat Xemnas.
Merge? They do fusion dances in this universe?
This is like, what's a Sora? Is that a type of ice cream? But before she can reply, she porfs into Roxas. Dang. Riku shows up because, sure, why not? And he's like, okay.
Wait, is he blind? There's a Kenshi? I don't remember even seeing that guy before. Or is he just drawing him with his headband over his eyes or something, because it's silly?
Roxas, time to go back to Sora. And Roxas is like, I don't wanna. Also, whom's this Sora? And Riku...
Oh, it's like Naruto Shadow clones. Excuse me. That actually is a useful comparison, because I do understand what that means.
Is like, fine, sit inside this computer simulation until you cool off. And Roxas is like, what are any of these words you're saying?
Is Roxas supposed to be a proxy for our audience now? Because, yeah, I don't...
Which leads us to Kingdom Hearts 2. We meet up with
No. We were... Oh, no. I thought we were in Kingdom Hearts 2 this whole time. We hadn't gotten there yet? That was all 300 and X days? No.
Roxas, who's inside a computer simulation of Twilight Town, except he lost most of his memories and doesn't...
Is Twilight Town also Traverse Town, but in sort of a memories that are fuzzy way? Oh, they're different places. One is actually real and the other isn't? Or are they both real? It's okay, it's a fake town. Is it made from Roxas / Sora's memories?
No, he's inside a computer. And I mean, we're not supposed to either, because 358 over 2 days released like 4 years after Kingdom Hearts 2, but trust me, it's just easier to understand.
That's also a problem. I mean, it isn't now, but at the time it's a problem. So they had story implications based on something that hadn't happened for 4 years.
Stand this way. So Roxas has his weird summer break and eats lots of ice cream and experiences...
Oh, both towns are real. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
A bunch of brain freezes and glitches in the Matrix until one day Axel shows up. And he's all like, Roxas, you're in a computer...
Okay, so Sora / Roxas is experiencing glitches. How does he reconcile that in his daily life? Does he think he has, like, dementia or something? Or maybe he's just like, oh, that's weird, and then just keeps going? That's kind of how he probably would react. He would just go, oh, that's weird. Not gonna think too hard about that. Seems a little odd, though.
Computer, I'm your friend. And Roxas is like, what's a computer? Then he meets Namine, who goes, you're Sora's nobody. And Roxas is like,
oh, nobody's right. Okay, wait, hang on. Nobody's happen when your heart is gone. So Roxas is Sora's vessel form, but also he's in a simulation? How can your vessel be in a simulation? What? Oh, they're making vessels in a simulation and then they become real? Can you manufacture a vessel? Because it doesn't have a heart. Maybe they manufacture them and that's the whole twist. Maybe that's what the organization's doing. And that's why we care about it. Because they're actually trying to subvert the known order. Okay, I shouldn't speculate because I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'm just taking on properties of what I think the storytelling could be. Let's proceed.
Like, whoa, what's a nobody? He doesn't understand what's going on, but that's okay because neither do we. He finally runs into Diz, who goes, look, just merge with Sora and everything will be cool. And Roxas goes, okay, but there better be ice cream there. So he absorbs out of the computer and...
What? He can just do that? Okay, they must have skipped, like, many steps of explanation of why he's able to... Number one, know he's in a computer, because apparently he was confused by that before. And number two, be able to leave the computer. And number three, know where Sora is. There's more to it? Okay.
Into Sora, and Sora finally wakes up with all of his memories back. Minus everything that happened in Chain of Memories. And I guess Dallas and Gommet wake up too.
Dallas and
Mickey, now in
Gommet.
a badass hoodie, sends them off to meet the wizard.
Okay, so Mickey is also in the organization? I thought he was the king. How is he both? Is he in the organization and he's the king? Or is he just wearing, he's just wearing the hoodie? Why would he do that? Hoodies are darkness protection. Oh, they're armor. They have an actual in-lore reason for wearing them. It masks them. Oh, is it like a Rick with a Morty? It keeps darkness from finding them. The Intergalactic Darkness Foundation.
Wizard, a wonderful wizard named Yen Sid.
Oh my god, I've heard of this before. Yen Sid. This is like a 13-year-old thought they were being clever with the writing. What on earth, human beings, are you doing? No, oh, the X's are also a thing, too. Yeah, there's no X. What does the X mean again? There's something about, there's like a magical power with the letter X. I'm not joking. I think they actually in lore believe there's some sort of magical power with X. Not only does it give it to you, but it xenonorts you
And he looks like
to
this.
space.
Yen Sid goes, "First of all, those outfits have to go. Zippers are out. Belts are in."
No more zippers. Belts are best friend now.
Second, you need your driver's license. Go visit more Disney worlds. So
That is usually code for you need to go to Winnie the Pooh land for a while, like several hours. And whether or not you want to go there, you're going to have to go there and hang out with Winnie the Pooh. Sorry, they're not sorry, though.
they visit some more merchandising opportunities and keep bumping into Maleficent, now joined by Pete and a bunch of those Organization 13 weirdos. They just
I never liked Pete. Just in general.
don't quit, do they? At one point, there's a battle with 1,000,000,000,000 Heartless, and Goofy gets hit by a boulder
Goofy fucking dies.
and dies. Yeah, he's dead. Hang
I couldn't get over that. I never played far enough to see it happen, but after I heard about this, I had to go watch the cutscene. He gets killed by a boulder. They killed Goofy.
Bunger, you're 6 feet under. Somewhere in all this mess, we get a big ol' exposition dump. A while ago, there was a nice bearded man named Ansem.
That guy's a cult leader. Kind of looks like George Lucas, but like blonde.
the Wise, who was a man of science. Or the Kingdom Hearts equivalent of science, because this guy was researching hearts and light and wrote his dissertation on feeling good and having friends. Now, Ansem the Wise had an apprentice by the name of Xehanort.
Are they all the same people again? This is incomprehensible. It's some sort of Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White. He's dead, he's alive, he's energy, he's... Use the Force.
Let his heart get consumed by darkness because he's a weirdo. This created Xehanort's Heartless, which confusingly decided to call itself Ansem. Psst, this was the bad guy in Kingdom Hearts 1, not Wise Ansem. They're completely different.
Wait, now the people that are the same are also different? Everything is a paradox, is completely inherently contradictory for some reason. I can't think of concepts when everything is this contradictory.
Different people. And Xehanort's Nobody, which called itself Zemnis. Hey, we know that guy.
Okay, what? Give me this whole bit again.
Light and wrote his dissertation on feeling good and
So there's a guy that likes to research light.
having friends. Now, Ansem the Wise had an apprentice
Ansem the Wise is the researcher who likes the light. He's Dr. Light. Dr. Light likes the light.
by the name of Xehanort, who let his heart get
Apprentice, Xehanort,
consumed by darkness.
consumed by darkness. Light and darkness. It's Dr. Wowie. Dr. Light, Dr. Wowie.
Because he's a weirdo. This created Xehanort's Heartless, which
Dr. Wowie's heartless vessel.
confusingly decided to call itself Ansem.
No! No! I can't do it! I can't keep trying to think of how this makes sense. It doesn't make sense.
This was the bad guy in Kingdom Hearts 1, not Wise Ansem. They're completely different people. And Xehanort's Nobody,
Why would they do it like this? It's just trying to confuse you intentionally.
which called itself Zem.
I almost want to do this a third time, but I'm not going to. Each time my brain takes in like one new bit of information, but then it gets lost again, and now I'm just moving on.
Hey, we know that guy. Meanwhile, Kairi's standing exactly where Sora left her on Destiny Islands, but somehow in a new outfit, when Axel swoops in and kidnaps her. He wants his buddy Roxas back, and he's not gonna let Organization 13 boss him around no more. Oh no, sir.
Axel good? But kidnap Kyrie? Bad. Axel motivation confused. Nick returned to Monkey.
But he instantly sacrifices himself so Sora can jump through a portal to the world that never was.
What?
Swoops in and kidnaps her. He wants his buddy Roxas back, and he's not gonna let Organization 13 boss him around no more.
Okay, he's rebelling from the organization, wants his friend back. He seems to be more concerned with his interpersonal relationship than his organizational ties to the politics of Kingdom Hearts Disney Kingdom.
Oh no siree. But he instantly sacrifices himself.
But why? I don't know the context of why he needed to sacrifice himself, because I guess we're not looking at the game, so I don't really understand what that means. But I guess it doesn't matter. It's just we need to know he did sacrifice himself. Apparently he needed to, or he thought he did.
So Sora can jump through a portal.
Why does him sacrificing himself make there be a portal Sora jumps through? I don't know how those two things are related.
To the world that...
Also, Goofy's still fucking dead. I just thought that's worth mentioning, because he got killed by a boulder. They killed Goofy! It makes sense in the game as such an aspirational quote, Captain. I will take you at your word, but also, you have been seeing what we've been talking about, right? No, he's not back yet. They haven't addressed it in the video. He's not back yet. Don't spoil this for me. Goofy's fucking dead.
Never was. Sora's like, how can I be in a place that never was when it clearly currently is? But just then a mysterious figure emerges. It's...
I like that we've finally addressed how can I be somewhere that isn't. That's kind of everything in the story writing. It's just, how am I here, but it isn't.
It's Ansem, but no, it's...
I don't know what Ansem means. Ansem is now X. It's a variable. But it's that guy.
Riku? It's Riku, but he looks like Ansem? Okie dokie.
Oh my
Sora
god.
goes on a murdering, heart unlocking spree until Diz appears, and he's like, you think that I'm a mummy now? Here.
What's happening? I like this. Oh, his smile is so sparkly. I used Crest White Strips for a while. It did not give me that level of sparkle. He must know something.
There's a surprise. Feast your eyes on
What
my
is
disguise.
this?
I'm really Ansem the Wise.
What?
The bad guys are conspiring to make their own Kingdom Hearts, but they forgot a little something.
Oh, no.
My smarts. I'm gonna use this pewter here to digitize the skies.
What's happening?
Idolize and recognize I'm Ansem the Wise.
That's Dr. Light. Remember, this is how you remember. Dr. Light has an apprentice that's Dr. Wowie. Dr. Wowie's got a heartless vessel. I forget which one that is.
Sora, Donald, Goofy, Riku, Mickey, and Kairi. I bid you all adieu because my computer is backfiring. So Diz's computer explodes, which causes Diz to disappear, and...
Tell me that's why they named him Diz. Because he disappears.
For some reason, also turns Riku back to normal. Xemnas is all, my beautiful plan ruined, etc., let us fight.
Oh yeah, because Disney. That makes more sense, actually, than disappear. Maybe Disney will disappear eventually.
Sora and Riku hold hands and prepare for a good old-fashioned...
Have we talked about why X's have power yet? No, we're only halfway through this description. I'm sure we've got lots more to talk about X's. Thank you for going on this journey with me, everyone. This has been... something.
An anime showdown. Sora believes in himself, Xemnas turns into a boat, and the player...
Why do people keep turning into boats? Is that the same guy that turned into a boat last time? I don't even remember.
Mashes X a lot, and sometimes triangle, until Xemnas is defeated. Everyone winds up back on Destiny Islands because sure, whatever. And Namine's there too, and she's like, hey, Kairi, nice to meet you.
Okay, so Namine, who is supposed to be a proxy for Kairi, they've now gone to the same island and know each other. I don't know if that's allowed, but apparently it is.
I'm your nobody. And Kairi stares into the middle distance. Yeah, so everything ties back to the moment Sora released his and Kairi's hearts. Either it's poetic in its simplicity or stupid in its stupidity, I don't know. This moment should have created 2 Heartlesses and at least 1 nobody.
We're at the point now where even a stable narrator has to interject and point out that there may just be impossible storytelling happening here.
Because Kairi's heart isn't really connected to her body at this point. But Kairi is a princess of heart, meaning she has 0 darkness in her heart, so she doesn't create a Heartless. She does create a nobody, but she has no body for it to form.
It's also very intentionally obtuse to call them nobodies. Hang on. One more time again.
At least 1 nobody, because Kairi's heart isn't really connected to her body at this point. But
what? Oh, Kairi's heart got merged with Sora's, right? When she passed through him because of the portal? Is that what we're saying? I know that was a formational storytelling building block. So she shouldn't have the ability to have a Heartless because her heart is fractured? Is it half? Does that mean Sora is Kairi's nobody? Holy shit, this is really confusing.
Kairi is a princess of heart, meaning she has 0 darkness in her heart, so she doesn't create a Heartless.
Oh my god.
She does create a nobody, but she has no body for it to form from, so
okay.
While Sora is busy splitting off into his Heartless and his
I promise I'm actually trying to follow this. I'm actually trying.
nobody, Kairi's nobody, Namine, is created from Kairi's heart and Sora's body.
I can't do it. Doesn't make sense. Kairi is a princess of heart, meaning she has no darkness in her heart. Is princess of heart... Does that have meaning? Is that like a thing I should know what that means? Like, so Mickey is the king of hearts, I guess? Which is also complicated by there being a Alice in Wonderland Queen of Hearts, but that actually has nothing to do with any of this. Does that mean Minnie and Kairi are both on equal standing as far as their lack of heartlessness? So she doesn't create a Heartless, meaning that the nobody can use her as a blueprint. So it uses Sora instead. Like Belle and Jasmine. So Disney princesses all have this quality about them, so in essence, Kairi is a Disney princess? They're like a breed of people? But the act of being a princess is like a monastic lineage, not a genetic line. Although it could be. I didn't actually make the correlation between Disney princesses and having this sort of like transformative quality to their lack of darkness or something. Okay. That's sort of elucidating, I suppose. I'm not sure I get it still, but I get some of it more, a little bit more now.
Which explains why she was able to meddle with his memories and whatnot. So to sum it up...
Wait, she was meddling with his memories. I thought his memories weren't there because he was in a simulation. Like he was in a dream state, kind of, and his memories were muddled. It's not that they weren't there, but they were, like, quiet in the background until things made more sense. Namine can control people's memories? His memories faded because of her, which is why he went into the dream state. So I've confused causation here. I've actually got it backward. I'm gonna have to do this whole video multiple times, and still I won't understand it.
I don't know. I said up front this thing was filled with retcons, right? Sora goes, oh yeah, Roxas has been kinda rumbly lately. You okay, little fella? So Sora and Roxas share a ghost hug, and Kairi and Naminé are chill, I guess. Oh, and Goofy recovers from being dead.
As you do. You just recover. You just get over it. Hey guys, sorry I was dead. I just didn't know what I was doing. Now I'm alive again. I'm Goofy.
But then a letter washes up on the shore with that dang old Mickey Mouse insignia.
That's happened before, I'm pretty sure. They've gotten those letters, I think, at the end of the first one. They got like an invitation in the castle, and Peach was like, I made cake. Peach.
On it. What do you want now, you creepy rat? But before we open that envelope, birth by sleep.
I don't even remember which one that is. Birth by Sleep. Was that one of the DS games? I think it had to be. I'm trying to place it in time. PSP. Oh my god, right. Yeah, there was a PSP one. Okay.
Diddly diddly diddly. 10 years earlier, we got these 3 sweet pieces of anime hair. Aqua, Terra, and Ventus. Weirdly, Ventus looks a lot like Roxas. Like,
Ventus, Roxas, Sora. Are they all the same person?
identical. I mean, I know compared to Dozenkrantz and Goofenstern over here, Roxas and Sora look a lot alike, but trust me, Roxas resembles this guy, Ventus, for reasons. The 3 of them are—
So we're actually going a layer deeper even, because there is no depth to which this writing seems to not be able to sink to. How do they even know what they're writing at this point? I'm not able to follow this. Are they just doing stuff? Is there, like, absolutely zero awareness of the other parts of the story, and they're just doing stuff?
Are being trained by Master Ericus to become Keyblade Masters. Ventus is too young and spunky, so he has to wait while Aqua and Terra take their final—
I love that now. See, this wasn't the case when this was written then, but now this could be a Star Wars analog.
final test, the Mark of Mastery. Also, we're in this place, the Land of Departure. Aqua passes, and she's all—
Traverse Town, the Land of Departure. Everything is a weird, distorted echo.
like, neat. But Terra fails because he's got too much angsty darkness and Spencer's coupons inside his heart. And Ericus takes one look and goes, girl, get yourself sorted out. Meanwhile, in a fancy land for fancy lads called Radiant Garden, Ansem the Wise is researching
Dr. Light.
how hearts work and stuff. He's got some test tubes and like a computer, and he's going, oh yes, interesting. And he's surrounded by all of his hot anime friends who kinda look familiar.
I'm starting to think these people might have been in the story before. They're not wearing black hoodies, though, so they're not. They're new characters that we've never seen.
There's also a little girl here named Kairi who's got no personality. Look at her go. Elsewhere, Aqua and Terra pop out of a portal on Destiny Islands, because of course they do. They meet
Aqua and Terra come out of a portal on Destiny Islands. Where's the portal coming from?
these 2 little babbies named Sora and Riku.
Okay, we know who those are.
Terra walks over and is like, ew, this one is totally giving me Ventus vibes. Hey kid, now you know how to use a Keyblade. You won't remember this when you're older. And Riku dribbles on himself. Also, Kairi comes over from Radiant Garden and Aqua maybe teaches her how to use a Keyblade? Ventus is wandering alone by himself somewhere when this hot—
What?
on himself. Also, Kairi comes over from Radiant Garden and Aqua maybe teaches her how to use a Keyblade?
Kairi came from Radiant Garden? And also she knows how to use a Keyblade. She doesn't do anything.
Ventus is wandering alone by himself somewhere when this hot piece of action rolls up on a motorcycle.
Oh, that's a wild helmet. What's going on over here? Is this the, like, you turn into level 3 transformation, you get like recoded dream drop distance demon dog days devil power trigger.
Cyclone is like, remember me? And Ventus is like, nope. And Hot Stuff takes off his helmet and is like,
What's he like? I have to ready myself because it's probably gonna be big.
how about now? And Ventus is like, sorry, I only know one other dude with yellow eyes. Wait! Turns out Ventus forgot a whole bunch of stuff that was super important. Before he was being trained by Master Ericus, his master was this objectively evil-looking dude with yellow eyes.
This is where the Nort comes. He looks like an egg, an evil egg, who's rotten.
Named Master Xehanort. How about that? Xehanort was trying to get Ventus to unleash the darkness in his heart to summon this all-powerful Keyblade called the
Look at that.
Keyblade.
Why is it two? It has 2 handles. That's not. You can't use a sword like that properly.
That's the Greek letter key. But Ventus was like,
Oh my god. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'm actually happy he explained that, because I would have never realized it.
I don't wanna. I'm a good boy. Look at my badge. And Xehanort's like, fine, I'll just take your darkness myself. And goes shoobly bop, sucks the darkness out of Ventus's heart, and makes Motorcycle Man, also known as Vanitas. Oh, and he...
Oh no, there's a 4th one. Sora, Roxas, Ventus, Vanitas. I feel like I'm learning the lyrics to some sort of choral arrangement in Latin. Wait, there's 5? Don't tell me there's 5. I don't want to hear about any more Soras.
He looks exactly like an evil Sora, but just don't think about it, it's fine. Flashback over, Ventus is like, oh yeah, I remember. And Vanitas is like, cool, we gotta fight. Meet me at the Keyblade Graveyard. Okay, so long ago...
Whoa. That's kind of cool. Reminds me of that area in Steven Universe where there's like giant discarded weapons everywhere. I bet it made for a very Dark Souls looking anime showdown when they fight there.
There were tons of Keyblade wielders, and they all fought over the Keyblade in this epic war, and now all that's left is a bunch of keys in the ground. But Ventus knows all this and just goes, "K." Meanwhile,
why wouldn't somebody get all the keys and like put them somewhere? Why would they just leave them in the ground? People know that's there. Certainly, whether you're a wielder of them or not, they're probably still important.
Terra's getting super moody and kills Master Eric.
What? You can't just kill him? I don't know, really remember who that was.
Yes. Ericus is like, why, my pupil? And Terra's like, I don't know, Gam didn't go over this part in detail, but I'm assuming darkness? Then everyone piles into the minivan and heads on over to the Keyblade Graveyard for their big anime fight. And you know it's serious because nobody turns into a boat. Ventus versus Vanitas. Terra versus...
So boat is just when somebody has to fight because the story puts them in a position to, but they actually don't want to fight, so they just boat out. I love that that's a convention that they sort of follow throughout this series. Sometimes you just turn into a boat and leave. What?
Xehanort, who's like, hello. And Aqua versus this dude who you might recognize better like this, but he doesn't have his cool eye patch and scar yet. Him named Breg. Xehanort is like,
Breg! Him named Breg. That's genuinely funny. What? Why is his name Breg?
I'll have the Keyblade. Keyblade, not Keyblade. And with that, I'll control Kingdom Hearts. And Terra's like, no.
So they've got 2 different words for the same thing that mean different things. That is very typical of this series, as it turns out. Apparently, that is a style that this whole thing follows. How many different meanings for the same word can we use interchangeably? Which is kind of funny, because I was talking about this yesterday when I was talking about the game reboots. You know how Tomb Raider can mean the first game, the third reboot, the movie, and then the new movie. It's like, what Keyblade? You know, the Keyblade, the one that's relevant to what I'm saying currently. It's all a comprehension test. And apparently these Keyblades mark graves, so that's why they haven't taken them up.
No siree, stop right there, Mr. Bister. And everyone starts fighting. Aqua beats up Braig, and he's
Braig.
like, ah, now I look cooler. Ventus and Vanitas fuse, which sorta creates the Keyblade for a second, but
Oh, Ventus and Vanitas only needed to exist so they could merge into a sword. So actually, Roxas or Sora are still the only important ones here. The other two were interchangeable and didn't matter. It kind of looks like the Soul Calibur a little bit. Just a little bit. I think it's that, like, bright radiance coming from behind it look.
But then it explodes. And then Ventus explodes. He's just asleep, but his heart goes swoosh over to Destiny Islands to go live in Sora's heart and heal up. Sure, okay.
Wait, Sora was never really Sora? He was always Ventus? Wait, that's another vessel then. Sora wasn't Sora, he was the vessel for Ventus?
Aqua takes Ventus's blown-up body back to the land of departure and uses her Keyblade to turn it into Castle Oblivion. She goes, okay, Ventus, I'm the only one who knows you're here. Have a good nap now, pat pat. She returns just in time to see Xehanort possessing Terra, forming Terra Xehanort, or...
I remember this bit. Terra Xehanort. Oh no, it's so confusing!
Terranort for short. A while back, Xehanort was like, I'm getting old. I can possess someone using the darkness in their heart. That's a neat trick. Also, psst, this is what Nording is. Aqua...
I always heard Nording was something else. I'm not sure I'm gonna get into what I heard it was. And I'm not sure that Disney would approve of what Nording, the Nording I understand it to be, would be. Yeah, this is...
But goes, I am not about...
Actually, you're right, Disney knows, because they made The Lion King and they gave Nala sex eyes. They know what it is.
This. And fights and defeats Terranort. But Terranort's all like, ha ha ha, not so fast. And uses...
What is that sword? How many anime boys went into that? It looks cooler than that stupid X Games one.
His Keyblade to unlock his heart, which traps Aqua in the realm of darkness and gives Terranort amnesia because we didn't have enough tropes on our plate.
He has amnesia now. Please. Please stop. This is too much. Thank you very much, Muldrifter, for the 43 months. Rifle Shoot, I've played the first one, and I played a tad of the second one, but I really don't remember it very well, and also it was basically when they were new, so... actually, I watched Lynn play the HD remaster of the first one again more recently, but it's not like that really gave me much back on the story, because we didn't finish it, and that was only the first one, so... It's amazing. Whatever this is, I don't know how this happened.
Already, sure. Throw some amnesia into the mix. Terranort, just calling himself Xehanort now, becomes an apprentice to Ansem the Wise and...
Right, is this the character we introduced already? This is Dr. Wowie, but now we've gotten to how he came to be.
And then much later gets his memories back and goes on to create his
he's doing that
Heartless
thing
Ansem,
again.
This one, not that one, and his Nobody Xemnas. Now we can return to the present in...
This is like the Council of fucking Ricks at this point. What just happened there? He said a lot of things really fast.
Becomes an apprentice to Ansem the Wise, and then much later gets his memories back and goes on to create his Heartless Ansem, this one, not that.
His Heartless Ansem. Not... Oh, there's an evil version of Dr. Light, too? But it's not the guy himself. It's another version of him that's evil.
One and his Nobody Xemnas.
And his nobody, who is without a heart. But isn't he evil in the first place? So how does something evil also become more evil without a heart? No, the other guy, not Dr. Light, just took his... Right, okay, I did learn that at some point several minutes ago. My brain is in a labyrinth of hell right now.
Now we can return to the present in Recoded. Well, not quite the present. Sometime after defeating Xemnas, but before Mickey's letter arrives at Destiny Islands, Jiminy Cricket is hanging out with Mickey. You see, throughout Sora's many adventures, he's been accompanied by Jiminy, who's been documenting everything that happens. Like today, Sora spent 15 minutes staring at a bowl of oatmeal. Jiminy's about to turn in his homework to Mickey when he notices some cryptic messages he didn't write, like some Cure lyrics or something. Chip and Dale digitized the journal and create a digital copy.
Right, I forgot about Chip and Dale being digital archivists for some reason, as they were apparently known in their Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers hit TV show, where they were always cataloging digital style.
Copy of Sora, Data Sora, to fight the bugs that are corrupting the data, and
that's cute. That's a really cute way of doing that. Okay, cute.
I don't know, hacking hijinks ensue? Pete and Maleficent are there, so
we're just in Minecraft
Disney
now?
properties show up, Jiminy's journal appears and turns into Riku. It's just whatever. The journal is restored, and Data Nominee reaches out to Data Sora and is like, hey, you got a whole lot of business jellying up your jam ram. You got Roxas and...
It's like an Adventure Time bit there. Jellying up your jam ram.
Inside of you, and like Shion's inside of Roxas, and then there's like Ventus sort of fused with Vanitas. It's just a big ol' awkward Inception party in there. It's middle school dance bad. Also, the bugs are a side effect of me messing with Sora's memories, cause Data Sora texts all this to Mickey, who's like, butter my me-shaped muffins, the real Sora's gotta learn about this stat, and writes the letter that then shows up at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. Data Sora goes, what, real Sora? As the computer gets turned off, cause Mickey's got a date with a wizard. And Sid goes, yo, Xehanort is coming back and we're screwed. We only have one Keyblade Master and you, like, randomly took your shirt off that one time. And Mickey goes, we'll get to that. What about Sora and Riku? If they become Keyblade Masters and Sora gets his jam unjellied, we might stand a chance. And Yen Sid goes, okay, but there's a lot of jelly in his jam. And it smells like peaches. Dream drop distance.
That's that whole game, apparently. So... did turning off the computer matter? I don't really understand why they mentioned that. It seems like it didn't change anything. But it sounded like it had consequences, the way they said it.
In order to become Keyblade Masters, Sora and Riku have to take the Mark of Mastery, the same exam that Terra and Aqua took way back when. But apparently the test is totally arbitrary, and whoever's conducting the exam just does whatever they want, just like real life. Yen Sid charges Sora and Riku with waking all the sleeping hearts of various worlds that have been on a constant roller coaster of exploding and being reformed over the past couple games. They bounce through some Disney worlds and wake people up, but not Sleeping Beauty?
Sure.
Come on, it's a game about waking people. Okay, Gam's telling me there's a reason. Okay, fine. Anyway, remember the rules of the Kingdom Hearts universe? All that stuff about Heartless and Nobodies and how destroying both restores the original somebody? Yeah.
I think it's just that Mickey ends a sentient being in a simulation. Wait, so that did actually have consequences. That was showing that he was like a domineering figure who could end a life. I'm not sure to what degree the simulation actually matters or is somehow relevant to the actual world. Or are we in a situation where ethically the simulation is like on equal footing with the actual world? So Mickey ending the simulation is almost like acting as a god destroying a universe. Is that what they're trying to say there? Is he, like, secretly a very authoritarian, dark figure under the guise of being the most good? Is this a metaphor for Christianity now? What the hell? What the hell anything is happening? What?
Yeah, so all those Organization 13 nobodies Sora killed, they're back as their original X-list somebodies. What? Our protagonist wasn't going around murdering people? See, they're fine, ha ha ha. Also keep it together. Oh.
This is the correct tone.
The X in all those notes.
I love that guy's face. I don't know what it is about. It's the goatee, I guess, and the eyes that are just like, I love you. It's so... Luxord, what are you doing? It's so silly to me.
Nobody's name.
What is that character? S-A-I with 2 dots. Is that an umlaut? I mean, I know what an umlaut is, but is that an umlaut?
Names isn't an X. It's called the recusant.
There it is. You thought they were X's. You were wrong. That's the recusant sigil, you dumb idiot. Why don't you know that?
Sigil, and Xehanort uses it to mark his BFFs and track their location. This even works
The X has tracking powers.
on clothing, and that's... oh god. That's how they're able to track Sora throughout this game. Because they put an X.
I've never had writing make me want to vomit before. Maybe I have, actually, but this one makes me feel ill.
On his shirt. Woo! Oh, and then this guy shows up. This is young Xehanort.
I don't even care anymore. I can't track how many Xehanort, Norts there are.
Yeah, so now there's time travel in this series. Good! I am over the heart-shaped moon! Thank you! It really doesn't matter how time travel works in this universe, and I'm scared to open the wiki again, so
That's exactly the trope we needed to introduce to Kingdom Hearts, is time travel, yes. In a series that has found a way to be equally as convoluted as time travel without time travel, why don't we put a freaking force multiplier on that and a 2 exponent on the convolution scale with the recusant sigil? I think by the end of this, Kingdom Hearts is just going to be this fractal equation of nonsense, if we're not there already.
here's all of Gam's notes on the matter. Basically, at some
What?
point, Evil Ansem went back to Destiny Islands where Xehanort grew up because, yeah, okay, because everyone's from there. He met the young lad and was like, here's some, going back in time potion. Go round up all the Xehanorts because we going hard.
Are they Rick and Mortying this? Is this like, we're gonna go get all the Ricks and kill them or something?
Because, okay, Xehanort's Heartless was killed in Kingdom Hearts 1, and his Nobody was killed in Kingdom Hearts 2, which means Xehanort's Somebody is back and ready to crack some skulls. And wait, why does he look like creepy old man Xehanort, not Terranort? I thought I understood how this worked. I'm doing my...
I didn't. It's telling that I didn't even follow the beat of him not understanding that. I'm just passively observing this taking place at this point.
Oh, but now we learn about Xehanort's ultimate master plan. In Birth by Sleep, he wanted the Keyblade in order to control Kingdom Hearts. But the Keyblade exploded, and conveniently it likes to explode into 20 pieces.
Oh.
7 light and 13 dark.
Why wouldn't it be balanced? Why would it have so much dark in it anyway? It's a...
Xehanort is all, grr, I want those shards. Like he's the villain in a cereal commercial or something. Originally, he plans for the 7 light pieces to come from the so-called 7 princesses of heart. Snow White, Cinderella.
Okay, so it's just their MacGuffins that happen to correlate with a number that works for the sake of what they want to do in that particular game. It's not actually like the number really matters. It's just what they wanted it to be for that.
Alice, Aurora, Belle, Jasmine.
Who's Aurora? I feel really dumb right now because I've known every other one of those. Aurora? Sleeping Beauty? I just didn't know her name? Oh, that's really strange. I've never known her name in my entire life. I just learned it right now.
And Kairi. This is all the business with the Princess Pods and Hollow Bastion back in Kingdom Hearts 1. But the 7 light pieces could also be the 7 Guardians of Light. Mickey, Sora, Riku, Ventus, Aqua, Terra, maybe Kairi. It's not really clear right now. Meanwhile, the 13 dark pieces are a little harder to come by. We got a couple bad eggs bumbling about, but...
Pete. What does he even do? He just shows up and says stupid crap sometimes, and then you beat him up and he runs away. Why are you even in the story?
13? Not quite. So
Pete.
Xehanort, being the rational person he is, decided to essentially create 12 copies of himself.
My head just rocketed off my body with the force of 1 million exploding suns. What is happening?
By putting a little Nort into all these nobodies, which together
He's just a Nort shaker now. He's just shaking Nort into all of these bodies. No bodies. Whose bodies? Somebody. Somebody once told
would then
me.
act as the 13 dark pieces needed to form the Keyblade. This is why Xehanort created Organization 13. His plan was to Nort each of the members so he'd
Don't Nort your friends unless they ask.
have his 13 dark pieces, but instead they thought for themselves and were like, what the heck, dude? And also Sora killed everybody, so way to go, Sora. He also tried having 2 of the members be as heartless and nobody, which is totally cheating. Xehanort, being the rational person he is, decided,
Hey, that's a good point. What am I doing Norting unwilling people? I'll just find people who want to be me. Like, me.
So that's why he sent Ansem to seek out young Xehanort in the past. He's making a new Organization 13 out of some time-traveling Xehanorts and a bunch of other friends called the, wait for it, real Organization.
Why does he need to say Organization 13 with the X in it? Because he doesn't need to track himself. That's the real problem. The real underscore problem I have .exe with this.
Organization 13. Boo! They should have called it the Super Excited to Be Xehanort Club. So Xehanort gathers himself, young Xehanort, Ansem, Xemnas, Xigbar, and Syx, who are part of the
I forgot there's one called Xigbar. I just like that. That's just great fun.
old Organization 13, but apparently just can't get enough of that Nort juice.
He's just shaking more Norts into them. Isn't that enough? They're more Nort than Xigbar at this point.
And 6 other shadowy figures that'll almost certainly get revealed in Kingdom Hearts 3. They're probably like time-traveling goofies or something. Oh, yuck.
Oh, God. That's disturbing.
But wait, I hear you counting on your fingers. That only makes 12. Yes, they're
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah, okay. That checks out.
one short. So Xehanort decides the 13th Nort shall be Sora. He kidnaps Sora because I guess Goofus and Dallin.
Why does Sora want to be Norted? Well, he doesn't. I thought he just said he wanted to find people who want to be him. But that includes Sora?
Do literally nothing all day and is about to Nort Sora super good when Lee dives in and saves.
Wait, Lee? We're calling him Lee now?
The day. Psst, Lee is Axel's somebody, and he only really cares about Roxas and Xion, but Sora will have to do. Xehanort goes,
Drat, I'd kidnap you again, but we're all out of our going back in time.
I have to ask of the people who have played this, does this whole story being presented actually over the course of maybe, I don't know, what's a random number that maybe fits this, like 60, 70 hours instead of 30 minutes? Does that distance, that dream drop distance of the story being told over a longer period of time, make this make any more sense? You know, the back and forth of it, the ability to, like, take in a story beat at... It makes it worse for sure. Okay, so it seems people have a different take on that each. Marginally. Okay. That's interesting.
Potion. Until next time when the 7 and 13 are destined to fight and summon the Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 3.
And all the Xehanorts disappear. For now. Riku and Sora go back to Yen Sid and they're like, wow, the whole universe was at stake. Glad we got out of that one. Hoo-wee. I almost forgot we were taking
Ooh-wee!
a test, haha. And Yen Sid goes,
Riku, you passed. Good job. Sora, you almost got Norted. You fail.
and Sora goes, Nort again. All the characters laugh and credits roll. Wait, we're not done yet. 2 quick games to go. Union Cross.
I don't even think I've ever heard of that. Also, why is it in brackets cross when we now know that's the sigil? Isn't that intentionally... Okay, why am I surprised by this? Everything about this is intentionally obtuse. But it's like they're specifically trying to misdirect you away from the X by saying that.
Long ago, I mean, like, long ago, all the worlds were connected, and it was the Age of Fairy Tales.
The Age
In
of
this
Fire.
harsh on the eyeballs place called Daybreak Town, there was this
Another town. That looks like Traverse Town. They all look like Traverse Town. They're all like a weird floating German village.
guy called the Master of Masters, who wore a sweet hood and trench like the organization dudes, and he wrote this book of prophecies with the help of his Keyblade No Name, which can see in
Its name is No Name. It's not that they just pressed enter when the box was empty. They named it No Name because everything has to be a contradiction.
into the future, but only the future it's actually around for, like in the same room. Look, it's got a magic creepy eyeball. So the Master of Masters goes to his 6 apprentices and is like, hey guys, I'm gonna peace out here.
Do they have colorful robes and animal masks now? This is not the organization. What is this? Anbu? They're the Animal Fighting Force Ninja group.
Here, you carry No Name around and pass it down through the generations for no particular future sight related reason, and this box, don't open it. And the rest of you get a signed copy of my book, you're welcome. But little did the apprentices know, he gave each of them a slightly different copy of the Book of Prophecies.
But they won't tell each other that they're different? They won't, like, exchange notes and find out?
They read their books and learn there's a traitor amongst them, but not really. The apprentices scatter to the winds like dandelions and create their own little groups that learn to use Keyblades. Years and years pass, these
What does learning to use a Keyblade really mean? Like, learning to sword fight? Or is this somehow something about using a Keyblade that activates your heart? Or there's one of the keys is a key with more keys attached to it. It's like next to a letter F with it looks like a pitchfork. Controlling darkness is a big part of it. So it's basically all Star Wars lightsaber training and like learning to be a Jedi, but it's a Keyblade instead of a lightsaber. Is that just like a fair analog to what that means?
groups all end up fighting in the Keyblade War and shattering the Keyblade into 20 pieces, and yeah, there's some of your backstory, I guess. Look, this is a browser/mobile game, don't worry about it too much. Like, maybe you should know Ventus and Marluxia somebody are leaders of 2 of these groups, and
Marluxia.
there's these things called Darklings that are heartless born from Keyblade wielders.
I just thought that was a Heartless. I didn't know it was different in any way. It's a Darkling. How can you tell the difference between them? Do they not have heart-shaped holes in the middle? Is that the difference? Or they just have red hands and horns? Do they look bigger? Oh, I see. A Darkling is a Darkling and a Heartless is a Heartless. Okay. Well, we've cleared that up. It has belts. It seems like it's got more, details than the Heartless did. They were just little trash mobs. This guy seems like he's almost got an identity. Almost. Several X's, too.
There's a Darkling on the box for Kingdom Hearts 3 right about... yeah.
Oh. I always just thought that was a gargoyle. I didn't know that had any relevance at all. Okay, that's a Darkling. It's actually on the box. Noted.
But seriously, if any of this is relevant in Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm sure they'll provide context for it like the competent writers they are.
I just thought it was a gargoyle, right? It just looks like one, because it's sitting on the edge of the building. That's where gargoyles always sit. It's holding a little star. I mean, I thought maybe it was like a bit of flavor, if anything.
Focus! These games have no focus! Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth
by
by
Sleep,
a
Fragmentary Passage.
That's the sound of my soul escaping my body.
Oh, I said that too, didn't I?
Kingdom Hearts.
Apparently this game or this series, this franchise, just causes souls to escape our bodies. Much like all of the characters whose souls escape their bodies in this game. Disney, Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 0.2, Birth by Sleep, a Fragmentary Passage. And then you hand in your essay. I just realized, too, the texture on the heart. It's like sort of a brushed steel pattern. It looks very cheap. And it's just got a drop shadow on it. It's like different art styles happening on every single part of this logo. Different fonts, different outlines, bezels. There's so much going on here.
Hearts 0.2 Birth by... Hey, you know what? Let's just call it No for short. Acts as a kind of prequel sequel that sets some things up for Kingdom Hearts 3. You play as Aqua, picking up right after the events of Birth by Sleep, where she was trapped in the realm of darkness by Terranort. She wanders around some Disney world swallowed up by darkness, fights her doppelganger, Phantom Aqua, and finds Ventus...
Hang on. I feel like we need to acknowledge that there are doppelgangers. And I know that might sound like the stupidest thing I've said during this whole thing, because of course there's doppelgangers, there's been a million of them, but they've been nobodies, vessels, not doppelgangers. What does a doppelganger mean? Right? I'm not trying to intentionally make this seem more inflammatory or convoluted. I feel like that is an actual distinction that needs to be made in a series that is full of things that need distinctions to be made. Just a dark version, she's in another world. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. A dark version. That's not been a canon thing before, right? This is an alternate world. Okay, so in this world, there's doppelgangers. Here we go.
But they're not actually there. She's just lonely. She fights some shadow monsters and ends up falling even deeper into darkness, but eventually runs into Riku and Mickey. Because, yeah, even though her story took place 10 years before Kingdom Hearts 1, time is super janky in the realm of darkness.
Time is convoluted.
It's convenient if you're a writer and want to get your prequel character into the present story.
Aqua fends off the darkness while Riku and Mickey close the door from the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, and Mickey literally loses his shirt.
We're still on about Mickey's nipples this far in, huh? Why are we constantly talking about Mickey's non-shirt wearing tendencies? Are those suspenders or just shorts? Norts.
Just to preserve continuity.
Nipples.
There's no other reason. What a guy!
Alright, let's do this again. I want to hear this another time.
No other reason.
Which sure is convenient if you're a writer and want to get your prequel character into the present story.
Yeah, I know.
Aqua fends off the darkness while Riku and Mickey close the door from the end of Kingdom Hearts 1.
But Riku and Mickey opened the door so they could kill Xemnas? Honestly, I'm just taking a shot at it. I don't remember which anymore is the first antagonist. Ansem. Ansem was surprised that the door opened to reveal light when he expected it to reveal dark. Riku and Mickey were responsible for that subversion of his expectations, thereby banishing him, I think. So this cuts to back to when they closed the door after they opened it, and Sora fucked off, I guess.
And Mickey literally loses his shirt just to preserve continuity.
So they don't even know why Mickey's shirt's gone. They just did it again because it preserves continuity. Why did Mickey's shirt need to be taken off in the first place?
There's no other reason. What a guy! What a guy!
Oh
The
my
door is
God.
successfully closed. Hooray! Except Aqua is still trapped in darkness.
Stop pausing on
Elsewhere,
the
Yen
nipples.
Sid is like,
Sora, not only did you fail my super simple exam, but your brush with
I love that this wizard keeps coming in to just talk shit to him for some reason. He's just like, you failed. I don't really know why, but you're so bad at everything, and you failed this too.
getting Norted actually left you Metroided.
What did he just say? Did he just say you just got Metroided? What?
Look, all your stats are back to level.
Oh, okay. He just means in a colloquial sense, he lost his abilities and stats. Okay, that's fine. But you have to be aware that when you say a new word like that in this series, it might mean huge lore implications. So I took it very seriously before I understood what it meant. I thought being Metroided was some new thing that happens to the characters when they find out they have a Z instead of an X or something.
Level 1.
Sora goes, oh, well, gosh darn, ain't that convenient. I mean inconvenient.
There's no time. Go to the Colosseum from Hercules and hang out with Danny DeVito.
As you do, sometimes you just have to go to the Colosseum from Hercules and hang out with Danny DeVito, who provides weight and resistance training to level you up again so you can fight Sephiroth.
Okay. Also, Lee is a Keyblade wielder now, and Kairi.
But we know Kairi might be a Keyblade wielder because she was taught, maybe, off camera at some point in a prequel.
I'm so tired. And that takes us to Kingdom Hearts 3. Sora's got to train. Riku and Mickey got to
Oh, training montage! This is the most on board I've been since the beginning.
rescue Aqua. Kairi's got to maybe develop into a character? And
How is she not a character yet? It's been 4,000 years.
Xehanort is off somewhere trying to get the 7 Pieces of Light and the Sex Club to go to prom together. What'll happen? Will Xehanort reassemble the Keyblade only for Yen Sid to pull a King of Red Lions and be like, I made this? Will the Disney and Final Fantasy
made
characters
this.
actually have any kind of bearing on the overall plot? Will we meet a character without pointy anime hair? Will we get to befriend him over the course of our journey and then in our final moment of need his hair pointifies and he saves the day?
And he turns out to be another version of Sora. Zora.
Will Goofy say a swear? Let's Goofy swear! Hello, if you feel
That's the end of this video. Thanks very much, Barry Kramer, for presenting your thoughts in a very entertaining way. That's a summary of Kingdom Hearts up until the beginning of 3. I guess the only reasonable thing to do now is to watch the one on Kingdom Hearts 3. Which I have absolutely no idea about. I haven't seen anything about it other than, I guess there's a Toy Story level. Which I heard was a missed opportunity because it's like about photography or something. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I guess that's sort of the general vibe for this whole series. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure they do either. So this is insane. This is not a reasonable story. I understand that that might not matter, but if anyone ever discusses no, actually, Kingdom Hearts makes sense, you're objectively incorrect. That might not matter, and if you like it, I don't care. It's fine. You can like it all you want. But if you ever argue this is a reasonable story, you can get the fuck out. This is the most convoluted story that's maybe ever been written by anyone. I really want to clarify that I'm not judging if you like Kingdom Hearts. I'm saying there's anything bad or wrong about that. You can like it all you want. Just never, ever argue to me that this is a reasonable telling of a story.
This video is brought to you in part by me, because I made this. Welcome to a good enough summary.
I like that. I thought it was going to be brought to us by Squarespace. Okay, I just need to take a moment before we start the next one and just take it down a couple levels, because I got a little worked up there. I shouldn't probably be telling my audience to GTFO at any point. Have a sip of my drink, take a couple breaths, try and reset, and then we'll hear about Kingdom Hearts 3. Thank you for watching so far. This has been quite the journey. Okay. That's totally fine. If you think they're fun games, nothing wrong with that. I actually sort of agree to some capacity. I've enjoyed them as well. I did play through the whole first one anyway, which I wouldn't have done if I didn't find something enjoyable about it. I really enjoyed, probably my favorite thing about Kingdom Hearts is quite simply the artistic creativity with which they somehow formatted Disney worlds of various IPs, various franchises, into sort of bite-sized planets that you can run around in. I think that was the strongest element of the series. I wish that, well, my ideal Kingdom Hearts would be none of any of what we just heard about, and just kind of like running around on those Disney planets and have there be like 30 of them. Just smacking some little gremlin guys around and getting experience and chatting up random Disney people and having a good time. That's all. That's my very overly simplistic take on it. If you like it for other reasons, that's fine. That's valid. Just never tell me this is a real story. Okay, here we go. Kingdom Hearts 3. What is this?
Summary of Kingdom Hearts 3. You might be here because you just can't be bothered to play Kingdom Hearts 3, or maybe it's the year 2082 and you're looking for a refresher before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Hi kids, it's me, your grand Pep in the past.
The joke is it takes many years for a new Kingdom Hearts game to come out, but the other joke is it actually takes almost no time for new Kingdom Hearts to come out, just not the mainline series. You know, there's a good distance between 1 and 2, and then there was a bigger distance between 2 and 3. Many of us thought 3 would never happen.
If you're confused and lost, well, I mean, we all are, but you should probably watch my other video first, covering everything up to this point.
He called me a dingus.
All right, then let's do this. Kingdom Hearts 3. Last we saw Sora.
This was done in 2019, by the way, just to give us some perspective. The prior one, when did this come out?
Like you don't have.
Oh, so
this video
the
is
same
brought
year.
To you in part
Okay.
by me.
They're both from 2019.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Here we go.
Last we saw Sora, he was getting told by Yen Sid to get good. His main task is to relearn the power of waking.
This video is 12 minutes long. It's not that long, actually.
Which will allow him to help
less than half
up
of the
parts
last
inside
one.
of him and Anjali's jam once and for all. I guess that's technically what he did with Kairi's heart back in Kingdom Hearts 1, but with the power of waking, he shouldn't have to poke his soft underbelly.
Oh, are they gonna undo the suicide scene? Yeah, why did they do that in the first place? Certainly there's a more Disney-friendly way of showing what needed to happen there. Really doesn't seem like right for them to have done that, really.
And turn into a bug. Yen Sid
What? He doesn't turn into a bug? I thought that's the whole point. Isn't he different? He doesn't do that.
Gives everybody who matters new clothing and sends them off.
Oh, also be on the lookout for Keyblade wielders. We need like 2 more to get to 7.
He says. Sora, Donald, and Goofy fly through a bunch of completely arbitrary Disney worlds that once again do not matter.
Completely arbitrary. Okay, so Tangled, hero number, big hero 6, 5, I forget the number, some hero number, and Pirates of the Caribbean and Toy Story.
In the slightest, and Sora learns absolutely
6.
nothing about the
Monsters, Inc. and Frozen. Yeah, that's like my least favorite group that I've seen out of one of those. I'm kind of interested in the Tangled one, I guess. Not interested very much in Frozen, although I guess they could make some, like, very pretty ice area or something.
power of waking. Jack Sparrow is actually a bunch of crabs in a trench coat.
Excuse me?
Bless us. Bless
He's
us.
crabs now? Hang on. If this is lore, and Jack Sparrow is actually crabs, I think it just raised my interest in Pirates of the Caribbean by over 200%. Did this happen? Thanks very much, King Zut, for the 11 months of subscribership and for using your Twitch Prime. Please tell me about the crabs more. I need to understand what this is all about. I'm actually going to lead into that again.
Sparrow is actually a bunch of crabs in a trench coat, and Rex from Toy Story is obsessed with this hot new video game you wish you were playing instead.
He's joking. This is not really happening, right? There's not actually crabs. What does this mean? It's real? Now I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3. I need to see why Jack Sparrow is crabs. Oh, X Hero Rush. I don't know if you're aware of this, but you have the X at the beginning of your name, which means we can track you. What is it called? The Lambent Sigil or something? I already forgot the name of it. I have heard of the process of everything becoming a crab. Yeah, I've actually watched a few videos on it. It's almost overly simplistic to say everything becomes a crab, but, like, yeah, kind of. It's sort of in there. Recusant seal. Okay, so I just kind of made up some of that. This is really interesting, this whole crabs thing. I really want to know more about that.
Called Verum Rex. Wait, is he obsessed with it because he thinks it's about him? Oh, and you can make...
That's kind of cute, as silly as that is. It's not as good as being crabs, but it's kind of cute.
Make Olaf...
Swoloff. I don't like Olaf at all. Also, I hate Pete. So the fact that they just showed up in back-to-back scenes makes me wonder what's next. We're going to get some minions or something that I can eat.
Also, Maleficent and Pete are back, and they're looking for a box. They
I don't mind
find
Maleficent,
it.
but
Pat to
Pete
pat.
sucks.
Aw. Along the way, we're reintroduced to the real Organization 13 and learn
We're not introduced to them. We knew about that already. What?
who the rest of
Did
the
you say
members are.
reintroduced?
Disappointingly, they're all characters we already know. Boo! In addition to the Norts we saw in Dream Drop
Oh, he said reintroduced, and I'm just a jerk. Sorry.
Distance, there's
My bad.
Larxene, Marluxia, Luxord, Vexen, and
I love that guy. There he is again. With the same face.
Demix, but now they all have yellow eyes. Yo-oh! Also joining the
Uh-oh.
gang is Vanitas from Birth by Sleep and Dark Riku, a time-traveling replica Riku.
Dark Riku. What does that mean? Dark Riku. You have to understand that saying something is dark could mean like 5 other things. Is it a doppelganger? Is it a heartless? Is it a nobody? Is it a clone? Is it a digital simulation? Is it a time-traveled version? Is it... There's actually so many options. You can't just say dark.
from Chain of Memories. This is a different Riku than the replica Riku we met in Castle Oblivion, and we know this because that replica Riku is hanging out inside of the original Riku like a teenager loitering outside of 7-Eleven. There's also a hand-wavy explanation as to why Ansem and Xemnas blowing up revived old man Xehanort instead of Terranort, but don't worry about it because Terranort is back too, and there's even another—
I'm in hell. Bury me 6 feet deep, turn me into a street.
hooded figure we'll get to later. This is way more than 13? There's too many hooded figures in this game. Some of the other former members of Organization 13 decided to be good and stay as somebodies. They hang out back at Ansem the Wise's place and dig through his stuff and find his naughty magazines. They text Sora old memes sometimes.
What? I want to know more about the memes. Do they actually send each other memes on their smartphones now because it's a modern Kingdom Hearts? They have smartphones in Kingdom Hearts now? Can you send crab emojis to each other? Is that why there's photography? Because we have phones now.
The somebodies figure out what
Heck
we learned
you.
like 3 games ago.
I wish that text messaging was this cute and pure. Heck you, crabby face. Also, you got jelly in your jam, dog. Cute dog.
And Sora has all these hearts jellying up his jam. Sora's like, I don't know if any of—
Why does he keep saying jellying up your jam? Is that like a turn of phrase they made up in the game because it was cute or something in the moment, and then it became like canonized into lore or something? Is that why he keeps saying that? Or is that Barry Kramer saying that? That's just him. Okay, that's just a video thing. That's fine. I know it sounds dumb to ask that question, but in Kingdom Hearts, anything is on the table. Jellying your jam might be the next getting Norded, you know?
them even technically count as people, but we gotta help them out. He sets out to free Roxas because, ew, girls are icky, but he runs into a problem. For one, Roxas doesn't have a body anymore, and for two, Sora doesn't know how to release Roxas's heart. Wait, hold up, since when do nobodies have hearts? I thought the—
No. No, you can't do that. What? What? You can't just undo the whole premise like that. Hang on. Did he really just do that?
Roxas doesn't have a body anymore, and for two, Sora doesn't know how to release Roxas's heart. Wait, hold up, since when do
That's what's happening. Explain to me how this is happening.
nobodies have hearts? I thought the whole point was that they're a shell without a heart. You know what? I have no more fight left in me. It's fine.
They learn that anything can gain a heart. Okay, so by extension, then, when Sora kills 1 million little heartless gremlins running around, is he actually just committing genocide to potentially rehabilitatable beings? Is Sora like a prophylactic, like a spermicidal jelly to the sperm that are the heartless? Oh, this is weird. Why did you go to sperm? Well, there's just so many heartless. I was just seeing them swarming around, so it just brought me to sperm. I don't know. No, Sora's not the sperm. He's the spermicidal jelly. He's the thing that kills the sperm. Sora's got some spermicidal jelly in his jam, dog.
Wrong is hooded, this plot is convoluted. Roxas's friends show up and are like, hey, we don't remember Roxas because we were only friends with him inside a computer. And Sora's like,
What? I have so many questions based on what just happened there. Okay, what? How were they outside of the computer, number one? I thought the computer got turned off by Mickey, number two. they don't remember Sora because they only knew him in the computer, but also what? Because Sora's not in the computer, he's a different person in the computer. Am I just taking a complete... They're different computers. Okay, I was gonna make a really dark joke there. I'm just gonna let it go.
Like, oh yeah, there should be a copy of his heart in the computer, but they don't know Ansem's
A copy of his heart in the computer. So digital information is the same as physical information in this universe. In this universe. I don't know, are there parallel universes? Maybe multiple? Which Sora died in the multiverse computer realm? Which Sora died to Mickey turning him off? I don't even remember. Was that Roxas V1? Data Sora. Does he matter at all? Maybe I should just let that go also, because I don't know that it even is relevant. Not really. Why is he in the story, then? What is the point of him? He doesn't matter, but lore now implies it was murder. Was the only reason he existed to show that Mickey is evil to turn him off? Oh, he's like a throwaway character. It wasn't really about the story in this case. It was about them wanting to make money. Oh, see, that's really unfortunate. It adds another layer where there's an artifice of human greed that isn't even relevant to the plot of the story, but it's affecting the story. So now Kingdom Hearts is jumped out of the PlayStation and into reality. Oh my god. This is profound. This is Disney. When Mickey turned off that computer, he bridged the gap between human greed and the artifice of the computer simulation of Mickey. It's the Disney Corporation's hand being moved by the digital avatar of Mickey. This might be the greatest story ever written. This story transcends media. It's actually an avant-garde art piece. It's about a study of the history of human greed. I'm so sorry I've ever called this story terrible. It's just that I didn't understand yet. This game is called Death's Door. I forgot to turn off the game command. I'm going to do that now. Okay, I was joking there, but also there is a thread with which you could start to make that argument I was just doing. I don't know if it's a real argument. I don't think it should be, but it could be. Okay, next.
password, beep boop sad toot. Meanwhile, Riku and Mickey are so bad at rescuing Aqua that she turns into anti-Aqua, which is actually fine.
What is anti? Is that a clone? A doppelganger? A dark version?
Because, I mean, she's rocking it. Mickey goes, "What happened?" And she's like, "I was trapped here for 10 years
Sorry,
and
I
turned
screamed
evil
there.
and got this sweet outfit. What took you so long?" And Riku's like, "I couldn't find my big car, my bad, lol." Sora pops out of a portal and helps his boyfriend Riku beat up Darkwa with the
Oh, they're boyfriend and boyfriend now. That's cute.
power of the Keyblade TM. They unlock
The Keyblade. It's the Beyblade that spins so fast that your bay becomes your gay, and then you gay the bay away.
Aqua's face so hard she turns good again.
Why?
They zip over to Castle Oblivion and Aqua turns it back into the land of departure and they find Sleepy Ventus right where she
That Sleepy Ventus got X's for eyes. That's the big sleep.
left him having a big ol' nap.
That's the sleep Goofy did when he got hit by that boulder thrown by Sigma from another freaking parallel dimension from Blizzard World.
Tries to use the power of waking, but
Oh god, they track his eyes. That's what it means. Oh no.
Vanitas pops up and attacks Aqua. He's like,
that looks like a Spider-Man outfit from the PS4 game. I like that dome though. It looks so weird. You could put like a digital LED face on it and it could, well, I guess that's what they did in Watch Dogs, isn't it?
and she's
Oh
like,
yeah, it's Daft Punk. It's Daft Punk. That's what it is. It's obviously that. I just didn't think of that for some reason.
Suddenly, Sora learns the actual power of waking.
Also, last time, I'm going to hit stop immediately following, but if you noticed, look where the tracking X is on Daft Punk Spider-Man. They're trying to track D's nuts.
And she's like, oh no. Suddenly, Sora learns the actual power of waking because, you know, they had an opportunity to make the Disney worlds relevant, but no, you know what, now is fine, this'll do. Ventus's heart poots out of Sora and into Ventus, and Ventus wakes up. He jumps in front of
Yay!
Vanitas
Oh
and
my
goes,
God, he's so
remember
fast.
me? And Vanitas goes,
Oh, that's cute, because that's what I said in Birth by Sleep when
and Ventus pops him on the noggin.
Ow. Did you toot?
Elsewhere, Vexen grabs Demyx and is like,
I don't even remember that guy. Is he like Gen 1 organization? I think he's one of the like original ones. I just forgot that he's a guy. A guy that's a dude. It's one of the organization guys.
I forgot Xehanort isn't even a real goth. Let's bounce.
what do you mean? You willingly came back and let yourself get Norded.
I'm a double agent. I'm working for Ansem the Wise. Let's go.
Who are the non-double agents working for? I thought they're working for themselves. Is the regular Organization 13 working for the apprentice for Ansem, the original Xemnas? But the real organization works for Xehanort. Sora killed some of them, I guess. The organization guys turn into somebodies, then unlock their hearts and turn into nobodies again. I don't follow that at all. I didn't even get that story beat in what we watched.
And on their way out, they steal an empty replica body for Roxas. For later. Oh, and
There's just replica bodies. There's just like shells that don't have any attribution to them now. I thought this was kind of important. Wouldn't this be really relevant to all of these stories of people who need a nobody to be able to do something? But this is just a thing that happens now? I thought all the shells were representations of someone with an identity, but now there's just templates that don't have like an identity association? Doesn't that seem like a big jump to suddenly just have that? Vexen was experimenting with this in Chain of Memories.
Ansem the Wise is totally fine and wandering about in the background, but he barely does anything, so don't
Look at him
worry
go.
about him. Back at Yen Sid's
Right,
place,
he's flopping like a fish, having a great day. I hope he has a great
the
day.
7 Guardians of Light are finally assembled. Sora, Riku, Mickey, Aqua, and Ventus are
Okay. I don't know about Mickey. I still don't understand his role in this. I don't understand how Sora and Ventus both exist. I thought Ventus was Sora, or vice versa. But they're independently characters now. I thought Mickey was, like, actually evil? Maybe? Not like I'm just playing. Like, I think he's giving hints that he's actually in service of some, like, darker evil than has ever been revealed yet. Ventus's heart was just hanging out in Sora for like 10 years. Wait, so did Sora's... Okay, so now that we know Heartless can gain a heart, I guess they can, like, generate one with themselves. Was the premise that Sora was Ventus's shell, and eventually Sora gained sovereignty from Ventus through his own awakening of some kind? So now Sora and Ventus are independent of each other, despite them both having been linked. Oh, got a yes. Hell
Joined
yeah.
by
I'm getting it.
Kyrie and Lee, who spent 10 hyperbolic time
What was Lee's original name? Also, Kyrie has a new outfit now, apparently. Axel, thank
chamber
you.
minutes and Merlin's moon bounce, so they're totally trained and up to the task.
Axel is one of the ones I should be able to remember because he's actually like a fairly prominent character, but for some reason he just bounces right out of my head.
Mm-hmm. Yen Sid goes,
Son of a Disney.
Wait, nobody's not Heartless. Oh, wait, hang on. Nobody's are not the same as the Heartless. I don't remember the distinction. I know Heartless are the little gremlin guys, but I thought it was implied that they were templates, like shells for someone else. And nobody has no heart. A Heartless has no body. Oh, okay. That actually does make sense as a concept, I think. I just didn't get that they were two sides of the same coin. Thank you.
Is this really the best we have? Okay, y'all ready to fight Xehanort? Wait, Mr. Yansid,
says Goofy.
if the 7 and the 13 fight each other, then that'll summon the Keyblade, right? Yes, what's your point? So if we don't fight them, then Xehanort can never win.
I love that some of the most cogent delivery of narrative comes from fucking Goofy. Just hit him with another rock if he gets in the way of your story delivery, apparently.
Wow, Goofy, you're as smart as you are handsome. But if we refuse to fight, Xehanort will just use the 7 princesses of heart instead.
Turnips, cries Sora. I won't stand by and let Norty Nort hurt Jasmine and Belle and Snow White and...
No, actually, we're done with those princesses. It's all about Frozen and Tangled now.
Right. We needed the 7 to represent light for the sake of there being 7 shards, but now we've got additional shard potential with new princesses, right? That kind of disrupts the canon a bit for there to be all these new characters, I think. Oh, the light has traveled to different... Oh, okay, so whatever Disney IP is valuable at the time they made that game, they're blessed by the Twitter verification checkmark that is the light. They are deemed to be financially viable, and also that financial viability carries on into their power within the Disney universe. They're synergistically powerful.
But what happened to...
It's all about Tangled and Frozen. It may be, Moana, eventually.
Where's Moana? She's not in the game, right? She should be in the game. She's more interesting than the two of them.
Now go, appease our shareholders, and fight that Xehanort.
Surprised they didn't make a sequel to Moana. Quite like that movie.
So the 7 Guardians of Light and Donald and Goofy take the battle bus to the Keyblade
They took the battle bus. Oh no.
Graveyard. They battle against the billion Heartless, and Sora defeats them with a choo-choo train.
So why do they keep going to this graveyard? Why does it need to be there? It's just because there's swords and it looks cool? Or is there like a lore reason they need to be there? Do the Heartless just keep attacking at that graveyard? Oh, it's like the Battle Dome. So, like, they don't go to the Hercules Coliseum anymore. Now they go to the Keyblade Graveyard? So they can have big symbolic anime fights in front of swords? I know I keep saying it's just, like, a narrative thing, but, like, is there a reason? I don't know.
But then Terranort shows up and kills everybody.
Oh.
Oopsie poopsie. Sora wakes
Rip.
up dead in the...
Excuse me? You can wake up dead now. Okay, now I want to know the Goofy backstory. When he got hit with the boulder, did he wake up dead? With a broken broom sticking out his forehead?
the final world and puts his soul back together by running through an...
He goes to MC Escher World. I didn't know Disney owned MC Escher yet. That's like a pretty good doodle of an Escher drawing.
Escher painting and high-fiving himself a lot. He brings everyone back to life and they fight another...
What in the hell does life and death mean in this universe? I have no concept of what it means to be dead. It means nothing? You just, like, you go through a mental trial and then resurrect? So if this was any kind of analog to Christianity, well, apparently being born again and resurrected is, like, the least important shit in the world. Just happens to everyone eventually. So how do you ever overcome evil if they all just come back? Are we trapped in some sort of eternal Sisyphusian purgatory where endless copies of Sora fight endless copies of Xehanort for 1 billion trillion eternities and we never resolve anything? As long as there's more Disney properties.
Wave of a trillion billion heartless. But this time they summon the power of Union Cross and surf on a wave of Keyblades, and the ghost of this guy without pointy anime hair winks at Sora. See?
What was any of that?
I called it. Yen Sid, tired of everyone's incompetence, blasts down from orbit and makes a path through the Heartless.
Moses, Moses, I'm doing a Moses!
He yells. Finally, after countless games and years upon years of waiting, we have our 7 and our 13 face-off again.
We took the shards from the princesses. But I thought the point of getting all the shards was to make the sword. But the people represent the shards? But they're not a sword. How does this do anything? The sword happens when they kill each other, but then what's the point of the sword? The Clash of the 13 versus 7 allows Kingdom Hearts to be summoned. Who fights with the sword if they're all dead to make the sword?
Against each other, and it's all tense and quiet, and a tumbleweed rolls past. But
It's
Xehanort goes,
new.
Oh, no, poof, here's a maze.
I didn't expect it to be a maze. Next thing you're gonna tell me, Jack Sparrow was crabs the whole time.
Sora works his way through Xehanort's last-minute corn maze of cheap suspense and takes out some organization members. He helps turn Terranort back into Terra, and Replica Riku kills Dark Riku while Riku watches.
Replica Riku kills Dark Riku while Riku watches. Okay, that actually is maybe one of the more sensible things they've said. I can follow that. I had to stop and think about it. I was like, oh no, that actually isn't as complex as I'm immediately assuming it's going to be. I don't really know why that's happening, but sure, that can happen. That hand gesture is like, it's a little, I'm crushing your balls.
And Sora goes, check please. The final hooded member is revealed to be...
Please be Goofy. Dark Goofy. When Goofy died by the boulder, he split into a hollow, into a heartless, a dark doppelganger from another time, who infiltrated the real Organization 13 in order to be Norded so he could come back as real evil Goofy to ultimately be a double switch, double negative double of a doppelganger, who then goes back through time again to join the real Organization 13 and fucking kill Goofy.
Shion, and she's
Okay, that's less interesting. I like my story better.
evil again. But off screen, Ansem the Wise was able to log into his computer after
The story was Goofy was gonna throw the boulder at Goofy and be the one to kill him. I really like that. I think that was a great bit of fan fiction I just came up with.
finding his password underneath the keyboard and put Roxas's Digi heart into the replica body, and so Roxas enters the fight.
Roxas doesn't know who to have ice cream with. How come Sora never made it to Smash Brothers? It seems like an obvious choice, doesn't it? Whoa, Floric said I'm close. That nonsense I just said about Goofy, killing Goofy, is close? Or you mean in, like, analogous to what actually happens, but not any of that stuff?
Shion goes, wait, nope, I got my heart back from Sora. Thanks, Sora, I'm good again. And he's like, when did that happen? Whoa! All the
What?
while each fight is bringing Xehanort one shard closer to the Keyblade. Kairi, for the first time ever, is about to do a thing, but before she can, she gets kidnapped. Oh, how...
Has Kairi ever done anything in the entire series? I know she's been said to have done things off camera, perhaps. All she does is get kidnapped and moved around and stand there and watch things, and I guess sometimes maybe have reactions to them, but I'm not sure she's ever contributed to the actual story in any way. Oh, she ate an ice cream one time? That's sort of frustrating.
convenient. Maybe next time, Kairi. Maybe next time. Sora's like, heck, I'm not gonna fight and let you summon the Keyblade. I throw down my sword. But
She's like Sakura, she just appears every... I was just gonna compare her to Sakura, but she's different from Sakura because she gets strong. Whereas Kairi changes clothes. So... There's also characterization for Sakura. She kind of like gets over her infatuation for Sasuke when she finds out he's like an evil eyeliner angel. And then she's like, actually, I don't like you that much. I thought I did, but I was just naive.
But Xehanort goes,
Oh yeah, what if I do this?
Psh, okay, sure.
Does that mean anything to you?
I don't even know.
This is Kairi.
Excuse me?
Do this.
Psh, okay, sure. Threaten someone I don't even know.
This is Kairi. From Destiny Islands.
I think I know what Riku looks like.
Pinty girded, your friend is now murdered.
And he kills Kairi. Wait,
She poofed away. It was a log the whole time.
I think I remember who she is now. No! In a frenzy, Sora defeats the last Norts, allowing
Wait. She wasn't a log? She just dead? What even was the point, though? Also, it doesn't matter, right? Because people don't die? So why does he care if she dies? Because she'll just wake up again. That didn't happen exactly the way they portrayed it, okay? Let's do a Naruto watch party subscriber goal. You gotta watch every canon episode on stream. Well, I can't watch any episodes of Naruto on stream, as far as I know. There may be other manners to sort of do something like that, but I don't know if I should discuss that now. I'm not against watching Naruto with people, though. I actually do, somewhat like that show, considering it's my name. Well, it's in my name. No, she died in real life. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I know you're joking, but also I don't know what dying means.
Xehanort to summon the Keyblade.
I made this.
Oh yeah, that was the thing I wasn't supposed to do. Whoops, he says.
This is the classic trope in every game. While trying to do the thing to stop the villain, you accidentally do the thing that the villain wanted the whole time. Whoops. Go get all the pieces to make the cool sword so you can beat the villain. Whoops, we made the cool sword, but the villain has it.
Now I'll summon Kingdom Hearts and make it purple and drippy.
Says Xehanort. Duck.
I don't know what Kingdom Hearts is. I thought Kingdom Hearts was what we call all of this. I thought that was the name we've given to the kingdom that is this. No one knows what Kingdom Hearts is yet. The greatest mystery of all life.
Duck noises, says Donald.
Yuck.
Says Goofy, or at least he should have. Mickey, realizing he should probably do something of note in this game, stops time and pulls Sora aside. Hey, so it turns
Mickey can stop time now. I feel like that's important. I feel like if Mickey can stop time, a lot of these events could have gone differently. I don't understand what Mickey is.
out that most of the organization members you killed were traveling through time, which is
Do you see why this is a contradiction? All of these things out of control that I can stop by stopping time, and we just seem to not be able to do it, which makes you question what Mickey's actual motives are. Is he the real Dark Lord? I think so.
why they were back even though you defeated them before. And Xehanort is the portal that lets them do that.
That makes every amount of sense. Thank you, Mickey-senpai.
Oh no, is that a wave of Heartless I see?
Stop.
So they dive into the portal that is Xehanort and why?
He's a portal now. I know he just said that. I still thought it was metaphorical. It's always literal, huh? It's always literal. That's a man who's a portal. Standing under a dripping moon.
Wind up in Scala ad Calum, the stair.
Ah, yes, Scala ad Calum. That's where we're going. What the hell is that an anagram
Their
of?
way to the sky and prepare for their final, ultimate, you better believe it's gonna be epic, anime showdown.
If I know a single thing about anime showdowns, the bigger the build-up, the less epic it ends up being.
Sora believes in himself, Xehanort turns into a goat, and the player
Oh, like some kind of devil thing, I guess? Him just turning into a goat probably isn't what happened.
mashes
there,
L2 a lot, trying to select the right... Damn it! Well, at least...
We got reverse boated by a goat. We got goat boated. So, in the past ones, when they build up a big fight and then one of the people in the fight doesn't want to partake, they seem to turn into a boat and leave? But now, Sora's turning into a boat. What is the thing about boats? Why do they do this?
Someone turns
Jaboted.
into a boat. At last, Xehanort is defeated.
Oh, apparently boats are what he's most vulnerable to as a goat. Goats and boats, it don't floats.
My plan was awesome. Everyone was gonna be all like, "Oh, Xehanort, you're so cool."
But you're not so cool, old friend. Everyone gasps with astonishment because it's the ghost of Ericus present.
What?
Yeah, this is one detail I probably should have mentioned in the last video. When Ericus died in Birth by Sleep, his
There's ghosts now. I don't even have words to describe how many different ways something can exist as an augmented entity. Why would anyone wake up as a ghost when usually they do a Escher labyrinth and wake up alive? What is a ghost?
little soul particles got caught in Terra's hair, and he's
This is a worse explanation than Scientology.
been quietly hanging out inside of Terra this whole time. Xehanort
His ghost particles got stuck in his hair. That's really what they just said.
It's the ghost of Ericus present. Yeah, this is one detail I probably should have mentioned in the last video. When Ericus died in Birth by Sleep, his little soul particles got caught in Terra's hair.
Yeah, I didn't hallucinate. His soul particles got caught.
And
Okay.
he's been quietly hanging out inside of Terra this whole time. Xehanort goes,
Heck, I guess you're right. I quit.
So you couldn't, like, take a shower and wash the ghost off of your hair. I guess it's infused into your DNA now. You know, wherever there's an electron, there's also a little ghost electron following after it or something.
Let's go get some sushi.
Ericus and Xehanort hold hands and fly off into space, and there goes any chance we had at Catharsis. Okay, cool, this is super
What?
underwhelming. Sora picks up the Keyblade and swoorshes everything back to normal, and everyone's like, hooray! Lee is chilling with Roxas and Shion, Aqua's hanging out with Ventus and Terra, none of whom have aged in 10 years, okay? And Sora goes to Riku and is like, well, spit me out like the pit of a palpu fruit. I can't believe we all made it back in one piece. And Riku goes,
You do remember Kairi died, right?
oh yeah.
But he doesn't even remember who Kairi is. Which I don't know why that is. They just decide he doesn't remember who Kairi is for some reason?
Yeah, but if I bring her heart back, I'll be lost forever.
Oh, it's a joke from Barry. Okay. See, having not played it, I kind of can't tell, because the story is so absurd that any one of the random quips he throws out could just be their writing.
Where does it say that?
It says right here in my Dramatic Endings for Dingus's book that
Dramatic Endings for Dinguses. That's a great book. I want to buy that book.
I ate for lunch. So Sora brings Kairi back to life and fades away. Later, nerds! And just then, Naminé walks over
Why?
and starts breakdancing. Ow! Meanwhile, Pete and Maleficent actually
Why is Pete still here?
find the box they've been searching for this whole time, and it turns out to be the Master of Masters box from Union Cross. Remember that one right there? A hooded figure arrives and summons 4 of the 5 foretellers. They're like, sup, Luciu, the other apprentice from Union Cross whose face we've never seen. You were right here in the lineup. Yep,
Now it's Goofy.
that's you. Why have you portaled us here to the future? Also, we're missing Snake Girl or Rabbit Girl or whatever. And Luciu takes off their hood and reveals themselves to be Zigbar. They apparently didn't die earlier. And are Luciu.
Oh, so when the line of the organization were flying through the air towards whoever that character is now, that one just missed. I really like that after watching an hour of this, you don't even know what to call the main character anymore. Is it Sora, Ventus, Roxas, whoever that is? He just missed.
Zigbar, or Luciu, is like, whoops, looks like Xehanort's out of the picture, and I'm the villain now. Hornga's hens, the ride never ends, hee hee hee. And then Sora wakes up in Tokyo, and the guy from Verum Rex is there. Yes, the guy from the fictional game Rex was obsessed with. I do not know.
Why is that at all surprising? This game has gone into digital realms and digital dancing and digital style. That might just be another simulation. Maybe it's a clone of a copy of a Tokyo. Maybe the entire game took place in Rex's mind. Maybe Toy Story is the real reality. And we're all toys to them. Maybe Roxas is Goofy. Verum Vente Gravitas Vitrium Vitae. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Oh, don't look at me! And that's it for Kingdom Hearts 3. Or is it? Might be. Most of Kingdom Hearts 3 took place in an alternate timeline dreamscape, and there's...
I love that that's immediately where he goes with it, too. As soon as you finish that narrative, your next jumping off point is to go, well, that was probably all nonsense. Sounds like none of this made any sense, so probably it's just someone talking.
Actually some semi-decent evidence to back that up? I don't know. There's a link in the description to the theory, and it makes me mad that it's plausible. You can also click here and watch Gam read the theory to
I don't think there's anything you could say now that I wouldn't say is possibly actually the story. You could tell me anything. Anything. Every single person in Kingdom Hearts is a grain of sand on a beach on a freaking Martian planet somewhere, like in Mars. And all of them are metaphors for light refraction bounced off of the ground, and the interaction between particles in a complex system. I could argue this story to mean literally anything. It has no meaning. It's completely nonsense. It's just shit happening for a while until it ends.
To me while I work on this video that you're watching. Good night, everybody. See you in 15 years. Also, look, I got stickers now.
See you in 15 years. Wait, there's another one? Oh, this one's only a tiny one. A minute and 14. A good enough summary of Kingdom Hearts 3. Remind? What is that? Oh, there's DLC. I didn't even know there was DLC. All right, well, let's do that one now. This is the final one, though. Oh, he's dying. I like his bee shoes. That's cute. I don't think he can handle Kingdom Hearts 4 if it ever comes out. Oh, Playframe did a Kingdom Hearts story summary for late people. I almost want to see what someone who does a straight-laced take on this story comes up with as a way to explain this. I'm not sure anyone can do it, but I'd kind of be curious to see someone try. This is so good. This is exactly correct. That's what I feel like right now. He's nailed it with that drawing.
Okay.
I hope he does the whole narration in the arm of the chair. Also, it's 24 seconds of a 1 minute and 13 video, and we haven't actually gotten to anything, so I don't think this is a real video. I think it's a meme.
So, Kyrie finally did a thing, but
What? Kyrie does something. After 20 years, Kyrie does something.
it made her really, really tired.
What is this? It's like a source mod recreation?
So she had to sleep it off for a year.
Okay, let's imagine a world where Kingdom Hearts is actually part of the Half-Life universe. It would be no less plausible than anything we've currently got. So Kyrie did something and it made her tired and she had to sleep and they threw her out of bed. Okay. The end. Any other situation, I would have said that doesn't deserve 263,000 views, but in this case, I actually agree with it. Not only do I think it does, I'm going to leave a like on it. And the other ones as well, because that was very well done. Wow, that was a ride. I feel like we needed a little more explanation for that DLC, but, I mean, fair enough. I get it. He's broken now. His soul has left his body. He doesn't have any more energy and must sleep. That was a wild thing. Well, now I've seen someone synopsize the entire Kingdom Hearts plot. I definitely know words that are related to Kingdom Hearts. Whether those words translate into any kind of meaningful actions or really any kind of arcs or indications of much else. Probably not, no. I don't think I know anything. I just kind of existed for a while, and things happened in front of me, like the flow of time. It's like that scene where what's her name from Twilight is staring out the window while the seasons change, and she's just always kind of there in the same place. I feel like I just kind of watched life go by for a bit, but I'm still here. Just sitting here, watching life go by. Huh. Huh. That was pretty fun, though. I definitely had fun watching it. It was just baffling. I don't think anything can top this. You could suggest things if you like, but I really don't think there's anything out there that's more absurd than that. It makes me want to see a serious telling of the story, but it probably wouldn't be as entertaining then, because it would just all go right past and it would just seem matter of fact. You actually really need to hit those ridiculous points as they happen with the level of ridiculousness that they have contextually. Otherwise, you let the writers get away with this stuff, people just start taking it as normal. You've moved your Overton window into some sort of theater of the absurd where reality has no meaning anymore and all things are just bizarre actions that have no consequences. Kingdom Hearts mobile game reveals that literally the entire convoluted Kingdom Hearts plot you just watched was all just part of a plan staged by someone else for their own agenda. It goes like 10 layers deeper. So they have to be aware that this is absolutely stupid and they're just trying to meme now. They're actually aware of this being as convoluted as it is, and they're like, how much worse can we make it? They're dogpiling the concept of absurdity in storytelling. No one can follow this. Not seriously. I mean, you can follow parts of it, maybe, but not in context, not all of it. Nomura has said that he rewrites the story as people online start guessing what will happen in the next game. Well, I guess we're doomed then, because the online world will guess all of the things. I hope I get my goofy ending. And honestly, what really would be an appropriate, proper ending to the series if they do ever decide to put a cap on it is... Oh, this would be too easy, though, but too sensible. Sora wakes up, and it was all a dream. You know, the absolute worst cliche possible for storytelling. We've already leaned this far, and you may as well just coup de grace that shit. Just absolutely cap it off. It was all a dream. Just perfect. Or the final thought of a dying brain. Of a dying Brian. What about that? Alright, cut to hazy ambient sound and a black screen with some vague, faded, shadowy imagery off in the distance, far away. You hear people talking, you hear muffled footsteps, shuffling, and a slight electronic beeping sound. That sound is the faint, final heartbeat of Sora in a coma. As Sora's parents decide it's time to take him off life support. And just as that switch flips down for the last time, the Kingdom Hearts series